Just hit start now. So it should be starting now. Hi.
Hi.
Trying to help this person find their opponent who's not answering them, and that's bad.
Oh, Jesus.
Because that'd be bad. We don't like that. Hello? Dude, I don't know why YouTube takes forever to start now. You can see up there it says end stream. That would imply it has started. And if you go over here, it definitely hasn't started. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. Will says it's time. What?
That's fucked up.
That's fucked up! Alright. So, yeah. Will's here. He said it's time to party. Oh, I'm getting an advertisement! Yeah, that's exciting! I skipped it. Skip the fuck out of that advertisement. It's you. You're on the TV. That's fun.
Your wife?
Your wife? We got married. That's fun. I bet Will doesn't care, dude.
Time to party.
Okay. You can go. So we have a game that's like right here and ready. We gotta hurry. Yes, toast. Okay, so they're starting right now, so we gotta hurry up, Bubba. You gotta hurry up and pick your favorite for tonight.
I've been hurrying up.
I know, you're doing great. Okay, so there's Nardu, there's Trogdor, there's Terrier Post, Bisaxis, Terrier, Marcus Manalius.
Muka wants to choose one.
He does. Burnt Toast, Twerkman, that's Mukau's favorite. Random Cuban, Johnny Cash, Lyrians, Hayseed, Tall 96.
Oh my god, there's so many.
Fox Team. There's a lot of people. I told you there's a lot of people.
Nerd.
Dr. Nerd! He's back, Sir Dante. Fisho the XV, Sea Moose, Bill Nye the Spy Guy. That's the one I'm having trouble finding for Hyokchian.
So I can't pick him because he might not be here.
Yeah, out there.
Damn, because I was
Lowry,
going to pick you because I liked your name, but...
John Ashwood. You got to pick somebody, Bubba.
Well, it's not Bill Nye anymore.
It's not Bill Nye anymore. You gotta pick somebody because they're starting the game.
Ah!
And I gotta cast. You're casting the first one with me? Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. All right.
I'm gonna go with Hayseed.
Hayseed's a good choice. He's actually on the stream right now. You could cast his game if you wanted to. You're not gonna though, and that's okay. You have your own things to do tonight.
I don't know how to cast it.
Like drink your Leinenkugels. I could teach you how to cast
leftover Leinenkugel from the wedding.
Yeah, leftover from the wedding. I'm gonna go with Terrier Post. Terrier Post seems solid. He seems like a good guy.
And Muka's going with Twerkman.
Justin Allen! Justin Allen!
Okay.
Oh my god. Think anyone will use the new dog? Possibly.
I am very happy and wish you marital bliss and fulfillment. Thank you, Will.
Thanks.
See, Will cares.
Will cares. Mukau's here, Grace is here. And Grace is sticking around for quite a while, so it looks like we're casting her tournament favorite, fucking Hayseed. You can leave at any point. This is your decision from this point on.
I might go watch some trashy reality.
Okay.
TV.
There's a Chaos Sorcerer of Shadows.
Good luck, Hayseed. I believe in you.
He's gonna do great. He's taking Kolek, which he loves to do.
Okay.
Okay.
Hazel, come here, honey. Where are you?
Where are you? Hazel's behind the curtain.
All right,
behind the sheet. Goodbye. Thanks for picking a favorite. Goodbye. They're gonna win. Man, Hayseed better fucking win. Otherwise it's gonna get real awkward. Alright, sorry. I was trying to help a player locate their opponent who never responded. They just signed up for a tournament, checked in, and never responded, so that makes me sad. But we have Hayseed versus Gepardors. Here we have two Chaos Warhounds, some Skull Crushers of Khorne for the Warriors of Chaos, some Chaos Warriors with Halberd, Marauders, and then some Marauder Horsemen. We do have Kolek Sun Eater. Hayseed does seem to really like Kolek and was taking him even before the buffs, so after the buffs, I bet he is quite ecstatic the Lord he was already taking got some buffs. Felizerman of Jepardo. We have an Ancient Salamander scuttling away. Tehenuin on the newly buffed Burning Alignment Stegodon. A Rev Crystal for some healing. A front line of pure red crested skinks. Some Crocsgores, Cold One Riders, and Feral Cold Ones. Kolek's using his first Lightning Burst on skinks who are trying to dodge it, and they mostly do. Mostly. As they pull away. Grace stream? Yeah, it is a Grace stream. And we love a Grace stream in this house. Ricky One Eye popping in. Alright. Kolek gets a little bit of a charge on Red Crest Skinks. There's nothing nearby that can punish him. There's not like a lot of Javelin Skinks or anything, so he's pretty free to do whatever he wants right now. As long as he doesn't get in a fight with these Croc Scores and Tehenuin. Like, he can fight any of them 1v1, but he doesn't want to overextend, obviously. As he pulls forward. We do have more Colden Riders behind me. I didn't notice those. There's a pretty sizable amount of Velociraptor cavalry. And we'll see what they end up doing. The Rev Crystal is giving Kolek a taste of his own medicine, though, and charging into Marauders for free. So the game briefly lags a little bit. Most of the night will be replays, but the first game is live because I don't have any replays to cast, so I just thought I'd go live for game 1. Marauders get charged by Croc Scores and Tehenuin, so they'll probably terror out any second now, but Kolek is popping all of his self buffs, and I think he's even going to get Occam's Mind Razored. I think. Yeah, there it is. He has 1.4k weapon strength, and he is slamming through this Bastiladon. And if you didn't know it, Bastiladon Rev Crystals cannot heal themselves. They can only heal others, so they can't save themselves. The Cold One Cavalry is ripping through the sides, but in comes the buffed up Laser Beam! Faster than ever before, impossible to dodge as it tears through some Marauders and some Chaos Warriors with Halberds, doing a good bit of damage there for Tehenuin, but Kolek finishes off the Lizardmen's only source of healing. The Ancient Salamanders continue to fire away. Lizardmen are winning on the flanks with their superior Cold One Cavalry, charging through Marauders and Dogs without much contest. But meanwhile, Kolek and the Warriors of Chaos are punching through the middle, and he's already gotten himself onto the Ancient Salamander's next target to kill things. What up, fuck you? What's the consensus on the new doggo? I don't know. Seems good. As my cat is trapped inside the room because Grace closed the door. Go, kitty, be free. Alright, we have saved the cat, and we are back. Croc Scores get massacred by gold chevroned halberds and Kolek Suneater. And then we have some Marauders running around, doing the good work. Tehenuin is very, very deep, surrounded by Skull Crushers, Halberds, and Kolek. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Tehenuin is now getting pounded by Kolek. And he is going to try and path his way out of here. Elsewhere, things are going fine for Lizardmen. They're cleaning up a lot of people. But it's just Tehenuin getting massacred is a bit of a problem. Kolek gets another Occam's Mind Razor as he charges forward. I wonder if any of his other cooldowns are up. As he tries to get to Tehenuin. Has to push through a lot of Feral Cold Ones. Their mass might stop him, but it doesn't look like it will. For now. Man, Kolek is after Tehenuin. He ain't letting him go. Which is good to see. It's good to see the big boy doing it. Love that. What is getting cast right here? Is that a Pit of Shades? Oh, it is. It's from the Shadows caster. Okay. I thought, for some reason, my brain was like, Tehenuin is casting this. Whatever this spell is, Tehenuin's casting it. He throws another Flock of Doom onto single entities. Unfortunately for him, Flock of Doom does very, very little to single entities. He does have his second Sky Laser. I wonder if he'll be able to cast it before he goes down. Ancient Salamander is still busy doing other stuff. So are the Feral Cold Ones and Colden Riders. But Tehenuin is getting in dirty with some Halberds. If he has another solar alignment thing to just go down this line, he'll be fine there. But now the Red Crest Skinks have broken, these guys aren't going to sit still, so it's much less likely to hit them with that giant laser. Thoughts on pet rats? Rats are sweet, dude. I had rats when I was in 5th grade through 7th grade. They were good lads. I liked my rats a lot. That was actually way before I got into Warhammer or Skaven. It was just a coincidence. I bought Warhammer 2. Warhammer 1 I played a lot of greenskins, and Warhammer 2 I only bought because of the lizard bone. And then I ended up liking Skaven a lot. Anyway, Kolek and some Halberds still trying to stop the Colden Riders. And stop them they shall. These Colden Riders are getting slapped right now. Hayseed is up on the balance of power, up on the damage value, and I cannot disagree. Oh, I don't know what could stop Kolek at this point. Justin, well done. What did you do? What did you do? Faithful, I don't know if I ever answered you. What's the consensus on the new dog? Good but expensive, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he'll even be meta, just because taking a 1,500 gold hero that's a good duelist isn't exactly the best use of your money. Colex pops some buffs, Tempest Range and Star Crusher. One more shot into Henneman will rout. 3 more shots into Henneman will die. Let's see if I was right. He did not rout in 1, so it's already not looking good, but I can redeem myself if Kolek kills him in 2 hits. Kolek taking an awful long time to swing. Taking an awfully long time to swing. His buffs are going to wear off. Hey, he routed in 1. It just took him a while, but Kolek didn't hit him again, and then he routed. Yeah, I don't think the Lizardman can do it. Kolek's too healthy. There's still a bunch of halberds, and their kiting salamander isn't going to be able to clear out everything. But a good first game to start out on. Hey, he hit him again. Didn't kill him, but got him awfully close. Can you kill him in this shot? And I'll have been completely correct. I'm so good at this game! Ah, hit him once that he routed. 3 shots that he's dead. Quick maths. I'm the greatest. Take that. Anyway, without Tehenowin, their leadership spikes down. Even though Lizardmen have really strong leadership stats, they're still, you know, just too far behind to really do much about it. Most things are going to rout besides the Ancient Salamander. If Kolek just gets attack orders straight onto that Ancient Salamander, he'll run it down and this game will end. And that is a first win to Grace's favorite, Hayseed. Kolek with 2,700 value, not bad. Marauders did okay. Chaos Horrors with Halberds did well. Skull Crushers did well. On the other side, Tehenowin did fine. His Red Crested Skinks also actually did alright. Feral Cold Ones struggled to get their value back. Colden Riders as well. And that is our first game of the night. GG's, lads. GG's. Alright. I have some replays, but I'm busy doing things. Sorry. Still trying to help out a player whose opponent never showed up. But no one is responding to my messages. Okay. Okay, we're focusing up, everybody. We're focusing up. I'm going to save some replays. We're going to go cast some things. Foxhead sent me the replay. Foxhead, how do you send a replay? 1 second. Alright, how do you send a replay? If you go into your file manager... Local disk. Users, whoever you are. App data, roaming. The Creative Assembly, Warhammer 3. Replays. You should have a replay in there. You can send it to me over Discord. Sound good? Sounds good. Why isn't that updated correctly? That's not right. Anyway, that's where yours should be. For some reason, mine isn't updated because I definitely have some replays in there that aren't that one. That's where it would be. All right, but I did just save a whole bunch. Why aren't they there? Wait, where have I been saving them? Hold on. I wasn't saving them in the right place. Fuck. They're all in downloads. Hold on, I can go get them. I love that I was just literally telling someone how to save them correctly as I saved mine wrong. The instructions I gave you were correct. My computer's default, for some reason, was sending them to my downloads folder, which is not correct. All right, here we go. We got some games! The rest of the night will be replays. There will be no awkward downtimes or pauses. Are we sending in every replay or only one or two? Up to you, dude. I can only guarantee that I'll cast one of your games, and after that, I probably have to go to bed. So if you want me to cast your favorite, then hold on to them. If you don't care what I cast, then send me everything, sure. Okay, we have Nardu versus Trogdor the Flatulent. Both sides taking their buffed units. Actually, Trogdor not taking all the buffed units. Didn't take Deepwood Scouts or Shiver Shards. Didn't take the Wild Rider ROR. For Nardu, Heart Seekers were actually not buffed. Only regular Seekers were buffed. Hellstriders were buffed, though. So I'll give you that. All right, let's see it. Can we go back to the Beastman changes? Oh, of course, Jay. I know what you're talking about. I know there was that little message up there when I go to my left screen. Yeah. What do we think about the Wood Elf Swisher Shard changes so far? In my testing, they seem pretty good, but I didn't get to play with them just yet. They seem really good, though. All right, for Slaanesh, we have Hellstriders and Heartseekers of Slaanesh on each side of the formation, then Exalted Demonettes and Chaos Warriors stacked up. We do have a Herald of Slaanesh with Rampage and Lash and our Chaos Fury Summon. On the other side for the Wood Elves, we have triple Glade Riders, all with bows, 2 War Dancers, 5 Eternal Guard, one of which is the Winterheart Guard, Durthu, 2 Treekin, and the Lost Sylvan Knights. Now, Durthu does have the new ability that all tree men have. He has the Ancient Protector, removes magic weapons within his radius as long as he's above 50% HP. I would like to see some Deepwood Scouts, but I can understand not wanting to take him versus Slaanesh because Slaanesh is so good at isolating and killing off things. As we see here with Pavane charging these guys straight into Marauders. Nice little Wisdom's Wild form to give them some armor and try and get them through this Rampage period. But it's going to wear off in 4 seconds, and they've already just taken so much damage, especially with this Fury Summon wraparound. They're just going to be dead, so that Rampage does result in a kill. And meanwhile, the Hellstriders are trying to chase down Glade Riders, but need to run away quickly as Lost Sylvan Knights catch them, apply Frostbite, slowing them down to 70 speed. And they should not be able to get away from the Lost Sylvan Knights just yet, as I lost my mouse. I got this mouse because it's quieter about clicking, but it's also apparently just gonna fucking disconnect. There we go. Got it back. We got it back. Heartseekers are buffed by Imagine One, the 1400 ones. I thought only the Seekers of Slaanesh were buffed, and I thought it just went from 1,000 to 900 cost. Yeah. So we'll see. Johnny Cash sent me a replay. I'll check that out in a second. Durthu is in here, slapping around some Chaos Warriors, getting rid of their magic attacks they didn't have. What spells did he bring? Flock of Doom, good. Flock of Doom and Sword of Dave could be pretty impactful in this frontline fight as Lost Sylvan Knights are just charging around trying to find something to do. Chaos Warriors fighting Eternal Guard and Treekin, not having a wondrous time as the Lash of Slaanesh is down the side. There's a Flock of Doom onto, it looks like 3 units, plus a Sword of Death onto 3 units. Yeah, that's pretty good. Lost Sylvan Knights using their magic damage and impressive charge bonus on these Exalted Demonettes, trying to whittle those guys down, but then bouncing back out to deal with these Heart Seekers and Hellstriders that are eating the Wood Elf Glade Riders pretty quickly. I worry for the Wood Elves. Without any archers, which again, Slaanesh could rampage them, I understand that, but without any archers, you just don't have constant pressure on these guys. It's all up to the Lost Sylvan Knights to stop any mobility from running over you. And you can see they're just suffering slow attrition damage from doing so. Durthu is scary close to the Herald of Slaanesh. She does not want to duel with him, not even for a second, so for her sake, I hope she stays safe. Meanwhile, the Eternal Guard in the Wood Elf frontline is doing very well. War Dancers with Durthu's support and then Treekin and stuff going on, they're all just doing very well. Rampage plus damage is out in Lost Sylvan Knights, charging them into Heartseekers. Now, the Heartseekers are stuck fighting Eternal Guard as well, so it's not like the Lost Sylvan Knights will take that much damage in melee from them. But the Rampage itself does have a considerable amount of damage, and the Lost Sylvan Knights are a very squishy unit, especially to magic damage. Heartseeker's going to pull out, and there, Durthu found his way onto the Herald of Slaanesh. I did say that this needs not to happen, as she loses half her health in the blink of an eye and starts to run away. Slaanesh is down in the balance of power. I'm not so sure they're actually that far down in the real state of the battlefield. Treekin are a lot of balance of power, so is Durthu, but they're very low agency. So if you get to the late game and you've killed off everything else, you could feed Exalted Demonettes into them slowly but surely while cycle charging with Heartseekers and Hellstriders and stuff. Yeah, you could do it. I don't think Slaanesh is out of this yet. I think they're definitely like a little down, but not even as down as the balance of power says, which the balance of power isn't even like doomed. Durthu catches up to this Herald again, though. She can't let that happen. She needs to back off once more. A Lash of Slaanesh is out to give her whole army a little bit of a buff, also to damage these Lost Sylvan Knights, who are fighting admirably to the end, but that end is coming in swiftly for them. This is much better, though. As long as they fight next to Durthu, it removes the magic attacks of all of these Slaanesh units. So then the Lost Sylvan Knights' impressive physical resistance of 55% actually comes into play and actually helps them quite a lot. Heartseekers of Slaanesh are way overstaying their welcome in grinding melee combat. They need to be charging in and out as constantly as possible. And unfortunately, they're not made to stand and fight like this. They're getting very little damage done, and a Sword of Death is going to take them out. This is starting to get real spooky for Slaanesh as they're losing their extremely expensive heavy cav in the Heartseekers. Durthu and the Spearmen prevail in a bit of a whoopsie for Slaanesh, and Slaanesh is not a faction known for forgiving whoopsies. They are kind of the most fragile faction in the entire fucking world. Exalted Demonettes finally getting to fight Treekin for a bit. They are doing really good damage as Hellstriders are trying to chase down Glade Riders. Now it looks like they're trying to return to the fight, slowly but surely. Great Stag Knight's going to go charge over here. Very little life left on them, and without Durthu nearby, these Exalted Demonettes have magic damage once again. They should tear apart the Lost Sylvan Knights, and this should be the end of those guys, as there they all go. 36 HP, and they are flat out dead. They got a lot of value out while they were alive, but only alive for so long. Treekin just about dead. Some War Dancers are getting pushed off, and the Wood Elves are looking a little bit sparse. Durthu is very, very healthy, and kind of the centerpiece of this whole army. As long as he can keep spamming out Flocks of Doom like that, he will be just fine. Without the Heartseekers, without the Heartseekers, Slaanesh is actually a bit up a creek without a paddle, with no way to really deal with Durthu. They use Narcissism to net him and allow the Exalted Keeper lady, the Herald of Slaanesh, to get away. Not that it's going to matter too much. I think if Durthu didn't exist, Slaanesh could clean up all of the Wood Elves that are left. But I don't know how they deal with Durthu. How do you like the Skaven buffs? I like them a lot. I played 2 games of Skaven. They felt really good. Both got 100 gold cut. Nice. They needed it. I didn't know the Heartseekers got one too. I thought it was just Seekers. Durthu gets charged in the rear by Hellstriders. With their devastating flanker and bonus versus large, they will get a little bit of damage out, but his insane armor values versus their non-armor piercing weapon strength is just not really a contest. As Slaanesh cleans up more and more of the Wood Elves around the board. Another Flock of Doom for Durthu is going to be a problem. Slaanesh could take all their time chasing these Wood Elves down and killing them for army passive, but none of that army passive actually helps them kill Durthu, so I don't know how much time they'll invest in that. Every second he's alive is another Flock of Doom he's going to cast on your units that remain. The Winterheart Guard are unbreakable, so you have to kill all of them. You can't rear charge them and make them rout or anything like that. These other ones are not so unbreakable, and soon it will be just Durthu alone. But this clump is looking juicy for a Flock of Doom or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. Because the spell is really low cooldown and really low winds of magic. And I think Durthu will decide it. Close game, though, overall. Nice job by Slaanesh. Little crab claws, lady. Ah! Boop. Bops those word answers in the face. They have 1 leadership. Rally up to 8. Another Flock of Doom in from Durthu as a Lash of Slaanesh comes out. Does a little bit of friendly fire, but it was mostly aimed at the Winterheart guard. It's just not enough. It's not enough for poor Slaanesh. Winterheart gonna survive on 12 models. Treekin might hang around, we'll see. These other Eternal Guard are doomed, but army losses hits. Durthu stands triumphant with an impressive 4,000 value. Slaanesh still does not like the giant single entities. Alright, I'm trying to save a replay, and I need to remember to switch it from my downloads folder to the real folder. Got it. Mr. Cash sent me something. Lovely. Okay. For Nardu, Heartseekers, mixed value, overall fine. Exalted Demonettes did really, really well. Same could be said of the Chaos Warriors with Hell Scourges. Even though they didn't get their value, they just slowly ground through the Wood Elves, which was nice. Hellstriders did okay. For Trogdor, Durthu put on his carry pants today, and they were showing. He was styling on fools. Eternal Guard did fine. Word Answers did fine. Lost Civil Nines did fine. Glade Riders did fine. So everybody kind of did fine except for Durthu, who did fantastically. Well done to you two. Fisho versus Sea Moose. Buffed Vampire Coast versus, I guess, buffed Dark Elves. Medusa got nerfed, but Malekith got buffed. Hellstriders don't have Devastating Flanker? Fucking why? What's the point? Hi, Captain Telos. But why? Why wouldn't they? That's dumb. That's dumb. I'm going on record saying it's dumb. I don't like it. Okay, dokie. For Fisho and Sea Moose. Buffed Vampire Coast. We have some pistol mobs, some deckhands mobs who got 50 gold off, so for a zombie frontline, they're pretty darn good. The Black Spot is 1 AP handgun here, then a bunch of Animated Hulks and Roddy Promethean's gunnery mobs, some Fellbats, and Count Noctilus on foot with his sub and Invocation deck. Cool. Neoside for the Dark Elves do have the Siren Red Ruin. Bloodwreck Medusa's got, I would say, reworked. Oh, there's 2 Scurvy Dogs up there. I would say they got reworked. They just do an insane amount of damage to infantry still, but they've lost almost all of their damage to single entities and monsters. We do have a bunch of Shades out in the distance, and they're running away from the dogs. They can't outrun Scurvy Dogs. Honestly, with their extremely high melee stats for being Shades, they need to just turn and fight their way out. They can't run away or the dogs will eat them like you're seeing now. We have some Cold One Dread Knights that are trying to peel, and then Dark Shards and Dread Spears. But the Shades have got to turn and fight the dogs. Looks like they're trying to over here for now, but they still just took too much damage. It's up to the Dread Knights to save these Shades, though a lot of them have just lost so many models, it's going to be kind of insane. The Crabs that stab have dove through the front line already on the Dark Shards and Shades. Dread Spears are trying to retroactively stop them, but that's proven to be a tough task. No Siren Red Ruins firing where she can at the Lamper's Revenge, it looks like. Not getting a whole lot of damage out, and now is going to get caught by the Roddy Promethean's gunnery mobs. We also have Malekith, which is Soul Stealer. He is on his Velociraptor. But it's looking tough, as the bounce power shifted pretty heavily against the Dark Elves, and I would have to agree. They're extremely expensive Archers in the Shades. 2 of them are already shattered or off the map. 2 Dark Shards, well, sorry, 1 Dark Shard and 1 Shade are about to rout, and this other Dark Shard is now under attack already. Their front line got crushed immediately. It's just hard to be the Dark Elves right now. Taking all those Archers and then not being able to defend them was pretty brutal. It's a rough way to start out, as the Coast Crab Rush is rolling straight over these guys. The Dread Knight has secured one of the Shades. if they charge over here, they can take out these other dogs too, but it doesn't look like they noticed that. They are running back this way instead. And the dogs get a rear charge onto those shades. But the Coldland Dread Knights didn't notice them coming from the side of the map. They're probably, like, his screen is probably something like this, right? It's not, like, over here watching the dogs run up on the rear of his shades. Anyway, Cyan Red Ruin getting surrounded and beaten up by these rotting Promethean gunnery mobs. They already do well when they surround somebody, but then firing their shotguns at point-blank range from all directions just does so much damage to Boldrak Medusa. And Malekith is doing what you always do when you're really, really behind in a game, is just try and kill the Lord. Just YOLO towards him and hope something goes your way, because so far the rest of the map isn't. The Coast have won the north side. The Coast did well on the south side. They didn't win it, but they did very well trading up. And their backline has been fine. They still have the black spot. They still have all these crab mobs who are closing in on Malekith just to lock him in place with the animated hulks. That is looking like GG. I do not think one Coldland Dread Knight and Malekith can carry. Because at the start of the game, only Slaanesh Demons had Devastating Flanker. Boo! Okay. Black Spot and then this Pistol Mob are both shooting at the Coldland Dread Knights. I think they're just trying to tip the balance of power at this point into army losses so they don't have to deal with it anymore. So they're shooting the very expensive Coldland Dread Knight unit just to get rid of it and trigger army losses. That's fine. I mean, it's not like it's a bad time to shoot it in any case, but I do think he's just going for that. Zombie summons blocking up some things the Hellebroni finally rout. Shades and Dark Shards are rallying to get shots off where they can. And Malekith is going to try and Soul Stealer to heal himself back up and keep this game in contention. Just to not get completely soloed out here, but I don't know what he can hope to do. He's so horrendously outnumbered on the battlefield. Coldland Dread Knights are about dead. Not loving fighting all these crabs while getting shot, while getting poked in the sides. All these little pistol mobs. Trying to stay in it. How dare you fight against Coldland Dread Knights? There's army losses, though. The Dark Elves will get taken out. And the Coast Rush proving rather effective. The Black Spot are halberds. They're halberd handguns instead of just handguns. 1,300 for them. Pistol mobs also did pretty well. Animated Hulks and Dogs did very nicely. So did the Rowdy Prometheans. For Sea Moose, it was a toughie. He had a hard time defending all of his archers, and it showed, because none of his archers really got good value. I think I made a video on how to build for land battles, and I said don't take one ranged unit for every 3 melees you have, and this was kind of a game that showed that. It's just like, if you can't defend them, ranged units are trash. Toris sent me a replay. Why? Okay. Torison versus Mr. Jasher. Ogre Kingdoms and High Elves. I wonder if we'll see the Fireborn. Yep, there it is. The buffed Fireborn are kind of insane. Red Sun. Players new to the pro scene or players new to the game? It depends on what you mean by new to the game, and I know that's not a satisfying answer. If you've played a fuck ton of campaign, then yeah, you're a new player. I would honestly say, actually, new to the pro scene is also pretty applicable because I don't think quick battles prepare you the best versus like tournament players. There are some quick battle players who are as good as tournament players, but the ratio isn't quite there. So, I don't know. We get some people that pop in that are already, like, really fucking good from playing a lot of quick battles. That's a thing that happens, but it's much more common that people join us pretty bad and then just get better much more quickly because they have better training partners in the tournament scene. So there was a convoluted answer to, like, both. Either or. But most people play a lot of campaign before they join these. I know of almost nobody that got Total War Warhammer and just hopped into multiplayer. They usually play the shit out of campaign until they get tired of abusing the AI, and then they'll join us in multiplayer. Human Boy, a Chaos Invasion into Mordor. I'm confused and scared. For the game in front of us, we do have Imric up in the sky with all of his usual buffs, so he is fully loaded out. Bunch of Spearmen and Silver and Guard to try and hold, 4 Archers, a Life Caster, the new and improved Fireborn, and Illyrian Reavers. For the Ogre Kingdoms, we have Saber-Tusk packs that are currently getting hunted down by the High Elf Cavalry, Noblar and Iron Gut frontline, the Snowhorn of Morn, a Great Maw Caster, an Iron Blaster, and a Maneater with Ogre Pistols. The Iron Blaster is unfortunately Iron Blasting right now. I hate this unit. I don't think it's trash. I just think it's really... I think it's false advertising. It's not an artillery unit. It's a shotgun unit. You need to be very close to get good damage out of it, and at a distance, it's just going to miss like every single fucking shot. Here it comes again. Watch it fucking miss. Oh, wow. Anyway, we have the Maw coming out onto the Silver and Guard. Does a lot less damage than you'd think for how well that prediction was. He actually predicted the fuck out of where they would be standing as they were running, and he got so little reward for it, but he deserved a better reward. Maneater Pistol is going to try and punish Imric as he dives down onto the Snowhorn of Morn, and unfortunately there will not be a Troll Guts for him anytime soon because he just used the Maw, so we know he's out of mana for a little bit as the Fireborn are returning to the fight. Imric is fucking up the Snowhorn so bad right now. Earthblood out to heal him and his Silver and Guard that the Snowhorn is fighting on top of, and it's a pretty rough one for the Ogre Kingdoms here. Illyrian Reavers sweep up the back line as the Fireborn charge in as well. And Snowhorn is just doomed. Elsewhere, some High Elf Spearmen having a tough time against these Iron Guts and Noblar combos. We'll see if the Iron Guts and Noblars can chase them down, get army passive enough to get maybe a Butcher for the Snowhorn or something. It doesn't seem to be going great. The Iron Blaster has almost killed half of an Archer unit. I fucking hate it. I hate the Iron Blaster so much, you have no idea. You might think you have an idea because I'm telling you, but I can't tell you the raw hatred that's in my heart for the fucking Iron Blaster. Don't give it 380 range if it can't hit 380 range. Give it 150 range so people actually know what they're supposed to be doing with it. And I hate it. Oh, it disgusts me to my very core. Red Sun, that'd be pretty funny. That'd be pretty funny, but silly. I don't think a lot of people would want to sign up to just be laughed at. Because at least in our new player tournaments, our new players are generally still, like, pretty good at handling Total War mechanics. They don't think they are, but, like, they are. I don't know. Like, this is a new player game, and there's some weird builds, and, like, I'm bitching about the Iron Blaster not being used super optimally, but, like, the red player isn't forgetting a ton of units. His army comp generally makes sense. His unit combinations were used well. His Maneater Pistols are getting good targets in, right? So, like... he's like 80% of the way there. It's just a game that like small differences matter so much. So, you know, that 20% that's not quite there for him to be like not a new player, like the Iron Blaster being in closer range, stuff like that. It just makes a big difference. But like, it's not like he's learning how to play the game. It's like, no, he's pretty clearly got a good handle on his units. Same with the High Elf player. But the High Elf player is like winning, so I didn't feel like pointing that out. But yeah, taking good engagement with the Fireborn. Imric hunted down the Snowhorn pretty easily for most of the game. Really good army composition, strong stuff there. So both players actually playing pretty well. The Iron Blaster just unfortunately failed the red team really hard. So he lost a bunch of gold in that thing for Mr. Jasher. Yeah, his Maneater Pistols did very well. Iron Guts did okay. Saber-Tusk got hunted down. Iron Blaster sucked balls. How well would a Chaos Invasion do against Mordor? Could it murder? Will Chaos range? As they're written, Chaos would probably reign because the Chaos gods are kind of fucking wild. Like, they're ridiculously OP. I don't know. I don't think Mordor could hold. Like, they would just throw body after body of orcs at them and fucking die. Because the Warhammer universe is dominated by heroes, and Mordor doesn't have heroes. Now, if Sauron had his ring, Mordor would be fine. But if you just have raw chaff in the Warhammer lore, nah. Because they have, like, heroes that... And he slayed 10,000 men, and then Tyrion came to fight him, and Tyrion 1v1'd his bitch ass. Like, it's just not even close. So yeah, I think the question would be is whether or not Sauron was there. I guess, like, the Witch King of Angmar, if he was around, they would survive. Yeah, okay, that's it. That's how I'm deciding it. Mordor would win if any of their heroes or lords were around, to use Total War terminology. If the Witch King was still in his fortress when the attack happened, and if Sauron was still the eye in the tower, no, they're fucked. They're beyond fucked. That was Silver and Guard spell resistance diff? True. But the orcs got nothing? Yeah, Olaf the Moose, I agree. Wholeheartedly. Uruk-hai versus the Warriors of Chaos. Honestly, Isengard would stand a better chance because they have AP crossbows. And I know I'm looking way too far into it, but that's the truth. AP crossbows would do a lot to help fight against Chaos. But Mordor is, like, just manpower of orcs, and that's not going to fly versus the Warriors of Chaos. It's just not going to happen. So Mordor would have to lean on its heroes. Isengard could actually lean on the strength of its army. They have war machines. They have AP crossbows. Ogre Kingdoms versus Wood Elves. I'll take a look. Alright, we have a game. I'm going to skip to this game that's coming up just because people... Oh, it's Mr. Jack Asher. Okay, we just cast one of these games. So I'm actually just going to answer the rules question, but I'm not going to cast this game for real because I've already cast both of these players and I want to keep casting people I haven't cast yet. But I just want to answer their rule question. So they're asking nicely. He didn't submit this as a rule break. He just had a question on the rules while he was also submitting it. Do the Wood Elves corner camp and forest hide? Ba-ba-bam. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So what's going on here is the Wood Elves are too close to the white line, and they're just all sitting in the forest, which are two different rules that exist for various reasons, but yeah. Now, the Wood Elves could do a little bit of an ambush. Oh, that's nice. Okay, no. So, yeah. So here's the thing, is he used the trees to ambush, but when the ogres came close, he came out of the trees. So that wasn't a rule break, per se. Now, like, it gets a little fuzzy when he was sitting them at the start, but he didn't stay in them to force the problems with Forest and Warhammer, where, like, there's various issues with Forest, but they're just not, like, made. Because they're video game forests, right? Like, super quickly, in the real world, if you had burnt out trees like this and someone threw, like, fire spells at it, the forest would start on fire, and then you just put yourself in a death trap. But since they're literally invulnerable, trees are kind of wild, which is why we have rules against, like, camping in them. But he just sat in them until you got kind of close, and then he popped out to ambush you. That's fine. Now, is he holding too close to the white line? Yes, that's a different issue, but at least he's attacking you. So I would say this is probably a rule book on paper, but not in spirit. Where, like, if this was in a tournament, I would probably say, yeah, he's sitting too close to the white line for most of the game. But, like, it's pretty clear the intent wasn't to fuck you over like that. He was trying to ambush you, and then he ran out of the woods. See, now most of the fight is taking place away from the white line, so that's totally fine. And the fight isn't taking place in the woods anymore. That's also totally fine. So, yeah. Yeah, I think that was fine. If I had been watching this game live, I probably wouldn't have called it, but... yeah. It was good. So, anyway. Seems legit. Moving on. I won't delete that in case we want to come back to it later and actually cast the game. But for now, let's find more people. Foxhead 22 versus Tall. And he did not take 2 Thunder Barges. He lied to me. Just fucked up. Just fucked up. Foxhead 22 versus Tall. Foxhead did say this is his first tournament, so let's be nice. And by nice, I mean tear into him. Destroy this man's confidence. Crossbows weren't mentioned much in Tolkien writing. I didn't read Tolkien's writing, because Tolkien is a little baby bitch boy. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Calm down. Don't take it too personally. It's just a joke. It's just a meme. Could Gondor hold against the Warhammer Empire invasion? Only one province? Oh yeah, only one province. Yeah, they totally could. The whole of the Empire? No. Meow meow, I was just answering a rules question. I already cast both of those players before and I need to spread the love. Speaking of spreading love, we have the Changebringers of Tzeentch, Chaos Lord of Tzeentch with Blue Fire and Infernal Gateway. Some Chaos Furies that are now being sacrificed to the Ripperdactyl Riders to save the Changebringers. 2 Screamers of Tzeentch, the Knights of Immolation, 1 Soul Grinder, post-nerf, 4 Zongors, and Pink Ors of Tzeentch. On the other side for Lizardmen, we have a Quaddle, Dart Skinks, Star Chamber Guardians next to Tehenowin on his buffed up Laser Dino, with Manticore summoned, Flock of Doom, and the Amber Spear. We have a Saurus Scar Veteran on the buffed Carnosaurs, and then some Saurus Spears. Saurus Scar Veteran taking a bit of poke from the Soul Grinder. Soul Grinders did take a very impactful nerf. And the Ripperdactyl Riders taking a bad time fighting against Changebringers and Chaos Furies. Overall, they killed the Chaos Furies, but they are pushed back with significant damage. Soul Grinder continues to harass Saurus Scar Veteran. Gondor can't beat a single steam tank. I think you're discounting raw numbers, because he said 1 province, which that's not actually that big of an army. Alright, Tehenowin's getting blasted by the Changebringers right now. He summons out a Manticore that could be used to chase that guy down, but a really nice Infernal Gateway is going to catch these Saurus Spears mid-stride. I don't know if it's overcast or not, but it is doing a lot of damage. The Star Chamber Guardians are in the fight, as is Tehenowin. Can he get his laser beam down the side of these guys? We'll have to see, as the Ripperdactyls are trying to come back in and deal with the Changebringers. Ooh. Screamer's diving down to Tehenowin. He's already down to half HP, and still no laser from the sky just yet. Saurus Scar Veteran taking his second attempt at running at the Soul Grinders each. Now the Soul Grinder has no one peeling for him, so he should be fine, as the laser is going to save Tehenowin, deleting the Zongors and pushing both of the Screamers away, as the dinosaur is hunting the Soul Grinder. So far the Soul Grinder of Tzeentch has gotten away with only some barrier damage, but the T-Rex is on the hunt, getting after his ass. Changebringers deleting Tehenowin is a big problem, and the Quaddle fighting with the Chaos Lord of Tzeentch is fine, but the ground game is going horrendously bad for the Lizardmen. And the aerial bombardments of Tzeentch are too much to deal with. The Screamers are healthy, the Changebringers are healthy, the Knights of Immolation are also very much fine. And even though your Soul Grinder is currently getting sniped out and hunted down, I think there's just too much going on elsewhere that is too bad for the Lizardmen. Tzeentch is cleaning up. Star Chamber Guardians holding for now. They are getting shot by Pink Horrors. I don't know where the Changebringers are going. They only have 1 volley left, so I wonder what they decide to use it on. Saurus Scar Veteran is going to chase Soul Grinder of Tzeentch to the end of the earth. And they have the same speed, so it largely depends on if the Saurus Scar Veteran ever procs his charge animation. That'll help him catch up to the Soul Grinder a little bit faster. He is also active, so he does have a bit more speed from his stamina. Spawn Summon is out for Tzeentch. They're going to charge straight into the Skinks, bowling them over, doing pretty good impact damage. The Changebringers look like they're going to use their last volley on the Ripperdactyls to get rid of those guys and claim aerial superiority once and for all. Screamers peel for the Soul Grinder. 9 shots left, could turn and fire at the Saurus Scar Veteran to probably finish out this game. It's the Quaddle, the Star Chamber Guardians, and the Saurus Scar Veteran left. It's not a lot. Now, army losses should hit with this Infernal Gateway. Onto the Star Chamber Guardians, there's just no way the Balance of Power can hold that kind of damage. I can't even see their health bars, but trust me, it's enough, as army loss is going to hit before that spell wears out. Oh, fuck! There's army losses! Quick! Quick! Spell wears off just as army losses hits. Whew. That was risky. The Galactic Empire versus the Imperium. I don't know shit about the Imperium. I actually don't know a single thing about the Imperium. Galactic Empire's a bunch of pussies, though. Fight me. Changebringers did most of the work there. Zongors did all right on the ground. Knights of Immolation did all right. Screamers did all right, but it was a Changebringer show. For Tal, it was bold, but Tanuin's not having the best night, even with his buffed up laser. It's not really his jam. Sora Scar veteran, even with the buffs, is also still, unfortunately, pretty bad. It's tic-tac-tover. Onwards, we have Johnny Cash versus random Cuban. More Wood Elves versus more Lizardmen versus more Dinos versus more Wood Elves. Let's go. I'm being sent some Tomb Kings replays. That's silly. Saving them up with Shia LaBeouf. Opening paint. Didn't mean to do that. Johnny Cash on the Wood Elves versus random Cubans Lizardmen. They couldn't to Henna win. We have our first sighting of the buffed Deepwood Scouts. We also have some Wild Riders, War Dancers, Eternal Guard, a Glade Lord up on a Dragon, and a Shadows Cast with Pit of Shades and Melkoths. On the other side for the Lizardmen, we have Razordon Hunting Packs, their armor-piercing skirmish monsters. Cold One Spear Riders, Court of Hwaddle, more Sora's Spears, a Feral Bastiladon, Trogdor on foot, but has his Hand of the Gods, and then a Beastcaster with Manticore and Flock of Doom. Krokgar, where does your Hand of the Gods go? After the buffs from 2 patches a while ago. Grimcore versus all of Mordor's Uruk power. Alright, I'll take all of fucking Mordor versus Grimcore. Krokgar and the boys moving up. As the Wood Elves take the fight to Skinks. Eternal Guard should beat Skinks pretty easily. We do have some Wild Riders getting a rear charge onto these Skinks to try and save the Deepwood Scouts, make sure they stay safe. Cavalry not very good at charging things that are already running away from them, however. The Skinks do find their way onto the Deepwood Scouts. The frontline fight has occurred in earnest, and these Razordon Hunting Packs are getting some time to shoot their spiny little barbs up at the Glade Lord, who will not want to take that trade for very long. Oh, these are triple gold chevron Deepwood Scouts. My apologies, sir. I didn't realize you were so fancy. Wild Riders might need to be held in reserve in case the Colossus Hunters come down to play. They'll need to be there to countercharge them quickly. Nice breath attack out should get the Razordons a routing, and there they go. No more sneaky spines for you, and the Deepwood Scouts in the back have been bailed out by the Wild Riders. I like this a lot from the Wood Elves. Don't overcommit too much of your cavalry. If your win condition is these 3 Deepwood Scouts staying alive and shooting, then protect the Deepwood Scouts with your cav. Don't, like, fuck off and just leave them on their own. Pit of Shades is getting cast in these Sora Spears. They will get mostly out of its cast range, so unfortunately it's not going to get a lot of damage out, but it'll get some. Prey of Enoth Rainbow was cast on the Colossus Hunters at one point. I can tell because I have a sneaking suspicion, judging by the giant green net following them around everywhere, but the Deepwood Scouts look like they're going to peel for themselves just fine. Krokgar's trying to help his forces to victory on the front line, and they are getting through the Wood Elves slowly but surely, and the Manticore summon ganking the Shadows Caster. Oh my god. For Manticore, 300 value, very nice. Oh, she's also sitting in Sora Spears. That's probably doing a lot of the damage as she continues to get fucking massacred. Razordons are back, and they're going to get a good chunk out onto the Glade Lord, who does not have any source of healing, so that damage will stick. The Shadows Caster is officially dead. So the Wood Elves keeping their Deepwood Scouts online, keeping their cavalry very healthy as well, all good stuff, but their Lord is taking too much damage, needs to back off, and they did lose their caster for free due to a whoopsie. So good plays being balanced out by less good plays. For Lizardmen, just a solid push, slowly and steadily wearing down these guys as Cold One Spear Riders are going to take a fight with Water Riders in the distance. We have some forgotten Sora Spears that do need to get activated. That's the first real whoopsie I've seen for Lizardmen on this side. The Cold One Spear Riders getting in deep with Wild Riders. Should be like an okay trade for them. They're anti-large, decent stats, but the Wild Riders just completely outstat them. These guys will really need a predatory fighter if they're going to do anything. I guess Primal Instincts will help too, but now they're just getting shot by Deepwood Scouts, so it's too much DPS. They're gone. Lizardman taking a brief lead on the balance of power as Krokgar does big damage to these Wild Riders. The Deepwood Scouts are running a little low on ammunition. 11, 8, and 4 for their volleys. Razordons are back. What can they do? I wonder if they get side shots in the War Dancers. That would be pretty good. Lizardmen still have a lot of Saurus bodies for these Deepwood Scouts to work through, and I don't honestly know if they can. Only one breath attack left to the Dragon Lord as she lands in some skink cohorts. Going to tear out the pretty quickly, but the Saurus behind them won't be such easy prey. Wild Riders get a glorious charge onto these Saurus spears. Though those are spears, they will not want to stay in contact for very long, and they immediately charge back out, so good stuff from them. Well done, well done. War Dancer's just about dead. Wild Riders charge into the Razordons. One of the Razordons is left to its own devices. The other one's trying to back up and get to safety just a little bit, but it looks like the Wild Riders might be able to hunt them down. The Court of Waddle are here to dissuade that activity, and they will successfully push back the Reindeer of Doom. Deepwood Scout staying alive, and the Dragon taking a quick fight with the Feral Pistol on a fight it will surely win. Deepwood Scouts 7 volleys, 5 volleys, and 0. So running out of DPS, but good management of the Wild Riders does keep guaranteeing that we have some cavalry excellence. I'm kind of surprised that the last Pravenoth Rama, oh, it was second to last, okay, was used on a random skin cohort. I don't love that. I also don't think their volleys are needed for the skin cohorts. Their volleys are needed for the Saurus Spears, the Court of Waddle, and maybe Krokgar. Wild Riders return, get another downhill charge on these Razordons. They're going to try and kill them off before the Court of Waddle can come up here and tell them to stop it. But are the Wild Riders just too depleted to even kill off the Razordon? It looks like that might be true. The Razordons are holding their own, and here come the angry Kroxgors with magical boxing gloves, immediately pushing away the Wild Riders. These guys get dazed up, and they get routed. The Lizardmen secure a bit of a high ground position. On the low ground, trying to tear out off some Saurus while Krokgar continues to look for a good fight. He fires a Hand of the Gods into one Wild Rider model. I think he was aiming at the Glade Lord, but all of the shots hit that one Wild Rider and saved her from a lot of damage. Rip. Deepwood Scouts shooting at the Court of Waddle. We still have War Dancers milling about. And Krokgar's insanely high HP percentage is keeping a lot of the balance of power in the favor of the Lizardmen right now. I think if this Dragon Lord landed on him and got like 2 or 3 good hits, we'd see that balance power even out quite a lot. Not saying that she would, I'm just saying if she did. Krokgar is an anti-large armor-piercing duelist, so it's not like it's going to be free. Deepwood Scout with 4 volleys left is retreating, trying to get somewhere safe, while Wild Riders continue to try and run down the Razordon hunting packs, take them off this battlefield one way or the other. Other Wild Riders trying to get involved. We still have a sizable cavalry advantage for the Wood Elves. This is going to be a beautiful charge into the side. Those are Saurus Spears, so once again, we can't stay in combat for too long, but, you know, it'll be good combat while it lasts. Good breath attack down the side. Hits some of the Wood Elf forces, but mostly hits the Lizardmen. It is unfortunately too little, too late. Army losses takes them out. Lizardmen will be victorious. Queek Headtaker versus a furry convention. Queek would kill them all eventually. Just take him a while. Oh no, your leg. It's caught in a bear trap. Trans Goose, that's a lie. My leg isn't caught in shit. War Dancers did well. Deepwood Scouts did well. Wild Riders did fine for Mr. Cash. For random Cuban, Krokgar did fine. Razordons did pretty well. Saurus also did alright. In a game where you're getting kited and the Deepwood Scouts used all of their ammo, you're not going to get a ton of value because the ammunition the enemy used doesn't count as value for you, but still good stuff. Oh boy, that's a lot of replays. Alright, where's the tournament at? Some people are on round 4, some people are still on round 3 out of 4. So the tournament itself is cruising along. Cuban sending me funny things while I'm busy. Tall! How do I send the replay to you? Hello! In this DM, sir. Do you know where the file is? Alright, 1 second. I have a question from a new player. Who's Larens again? No idea. Okay, look at stream. Alright, 1 second. I'll give him time to load up the stream if he's not on it right now. Bam. That seems like enough time. Alright, left screen. If you pull up your file explorer, if you go down to local disk, you'll see users. Whatever your name is, app data, roaming, the creative assembly, Warhammer 3, replays, and all your replays should be in there. Just click and drag it into my Discord chat, and that'll be fine. I can download it from there. As Olaf was mentioning earlier, if any step along this process that folder isn't there, you're going to have to figure out how on your computer to reveal hidden folders, because for some people, app data is hidden. So that's how you do it. All right. We have Torisen versus Foxhead. We've cast both those players already. Trogdor versus Gipado. We have cast both of them already. Is this the same? That's the same replay. All right. Hayseed versus Burnt Toast. We haven't cast Burnt Toast yet. We have cast Hayseed. Nardu versus Falling Star. I don't know if we've cast Nardu yet. We definitely haven't cast Falling Star. Lamb Sauce and Cinnamon. Terrier Post versus Terrier. There's 2 players we haven't cast yet. Let's do that, because it's 2 players I haven't cast yet. Is my boy Krokgar better now? Not in this patch, but in the previous patch he got some buffs to Hand of the Gods being better. And then actually in this patch he did get buffs for his T-Rex mount getting more damage, but I still don't think he's the best Lord, but he's like okay. Alright, we have Terrier Post versus Terrier. Bretonnia versus Dark Elves. Okay. For Bretonnia, we have Grail Knights and Knights of the Realm. 3 Knights of the Realm, 2 Grail Knights. We have King Lewin up in the sky, some Spearmen at Arms, 3 Peasant Bowmen, 1 of which has fire arrows, the other 2 are poison, and a Damsel of Life. Pretty straightforward build there. On the side of the Dark Elves, we have a Supreme Sorceress of Shadows on our Dragon. Dragon Sorceresses were nerfed. They are more expensive now. Frontline of Bleak Swords and Dread Spears. Bunch of Witch Elves, Colden Knights, Colden Dread Knights, the ROR Knights, the Ebon Claw Dread Knights. Harpies and Dark Riders. A very straightforward Dark Elf rush build. Infantry, Cav, galore. Chariots and good. Yeah, how are Chariots? Chariots are better. I still wouldn't say they're meta, but they're, like, fine, you know? They aren't fully into the strong territory yet, but they're getting better. Doomflayers are actually really strong. Yeah, Doomflayers are strong as fuck. The Dark Elf frontline is getting slammed by the Bretonnian Heavy Cavalry, and the Dark Elf Cavalry was deployed and charged too late to defend their infantry, as these Witch Elves lose 3/4 of their HP to a Grail Knight charge. Now Dark Riders are trying to get some damage back on the Grail Knights. The Witch Elves are actually holding their own. This could turn into a bit of a disaster if the Grail Knights aren't pulled back quickly, just because their charge is where a lot of their damage is at. Other Knights of the Realm dealing with Supreme Sorcerers of Shadows, but the Knights of the Ebon Claw are nearby. They just need to work their way through some Spearmen at Arms, who are proving rather tenacious. Enfeebling Foe going to make Knights of the Realm down to 8 and 4 for melee stats, as these Grail Knights are charging about. Bretonnia trying to keep their archers online, as the Dark Elves just try and go past that front line. You see here, these guys getting an overcasted regrowth, but the Grail Knights are still just mired in melee combat. They routed off some Witch Elves and Dark Riders, but they do need to just pull away. Looks like they're going to try and get out of here now. Knights of the Ebon Claw still getting next to nothing done as they're sitting on top of these Knights of the Realm and Spearmen, and unfortunately just not achieving very much. Archers were saved. And now Knights of the Realm and Lewin going to team up on this poor Sorceress of Shadows. There's not a lot of nearby that can really help out. We have some Dark Riders that can run over, get a rear charge with Melkos Mystifying Miasma already going down. It looks like they're going to try for that, but the Knights of the Realm bounce out to charge them instead. Both sides charging, and I think the Heavy Knights will beat the light cavalry of the Dark Elves. in the prolonged fight. Speaking of prolonged fight, the Witch Elves and Dark Elf front line is finally starting to prevail over the peasants of Bretonnia, and that can finally help out as the man-tide of Dark Elves can start to pressure the backline and force the Bretonnian Knights to commit to fights they don't want to anymore. Still have a full health Grail Knight over here. Another Grail Knight quite healthy. Lewin is also full health. But the Bretonnian front line and their Knights of the Realm have seen better days. One of them is routing, another one's taking a lot of damage. There is one that's healthy-ish, but I have no idea how much healing they've gotten. These Knights are going to get dragged down by Bleak Swords over here. Whenever I zoom in on Bretonnians fighting, it reminds me of Mountain Blade Bannerlord. Lewin is trying to hunt down the Supreme Sorceress of Shadows. He's getting good work out of it. She has no Soul Stealer. There's no source of healing for her whatsoever. She is who she is till the day she dies. Knights of the Realm going to charge back in. Keep the Cold One Dread Knights away from Lewin. As it was. Grail Knight still very healthy is going to be a problem. They still have their healing caster. Lewin is still full health. All of these are problems. The Dark Elves, I don't see any good health bars except for one fucking Dread Spear. It's not promising. Does this lady still have breath attacks? Yes, she has all three. We're going to need some juicy breath attacks. Starting here with this blob of Knights of the Realm that's forming on the flank of your Cold One Knights. That could be a good breath attack target. She's not going to take it. She's just going to raw dive onto the damsel, try and snipe her out and take out the Bretonnian healing with a Melkots to help her out a little bit. Opal Amulet is popped. She runs away as the Knights of the Ebon Claw are left behind as a rear guard. Dread Spear is still marching forward to get involved, but we still have two healthy Grail Knights and nothing left to combat them. Dread Knights feel so bad. I also think Dread Knights suck. At this point, I do think the game is over, but a beautiful breath attack down onto the Grail Knights as they charge in. Good amount of damage for them, though unfortunately the Harpies hovering around actually took most of the damage, saving the Grail Knights from some accidentally. Army losses will hit. Bretonnia will take themselves a W. Out there, sending me some stuff, sending me replays. Thank you out there. Thank you, Perry Post as well. Alright, Hayseed sending me stuff. Cool. Johnny Cash sending me stuff. Cool. Thank you, Mr. Cash. Alright. Cool. For Para Post. Good Grail management. Solid gameplay. Well done. For Terrier. Not bad either for someone I'm not used to seeing in our tournaments. I like it. I like it. I think on your deployment, your cavalry was just too far away to be able to help your front line as they got charged over and over again. And then I would make use of some of the Dark Elves' armor-piercing missile options. But, yeah, not a bad first showing. Imperator Post is pretty good. As far as our new player goes, he's pretty good. Whenever he shows up in one of our tournaments, I'm like, oh, okay, he's a tournament favorite. Like, again, for new player tournaments. In general tournaments? Nah, dude. Nah, it's Alfredino all the way. Alfredino. Mick Rightface with the $69. Congrats on your wedding, Mr. Rat. Calling you hubby is no longer just a meme. May the great one rat bless you and grace with a glorious underground tunnel system and a healthy litter of weapons teams. Joke's on you. We're only giving birth to Storm Vermin now. Because Storm Vermin get buffs and weapons teams don't. Yeah. Yeah! Thank you so much for the donation, dude, though. Shit's hype. And you used the funny haha internet number. Alright, let's do this one. This one's silly. Falling Star versus Nardu. Let's get it. Nardu. And Falling Star. Everyone is on the final round now. For Nardu, we have Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh who need to get out of this box formation as quickly as possible because Zaytang is about to fuck them up. We also have 2 Exalted Demonettes, Fiends of Slaanesh, which just got buffs, the Herald of Slaanesh with Pavane and Lash, and some Chaos Furies. On the other side, we have Yan Bo with his Execute, and then Jade Shield and Talons of Night as his spells. We have 2 War Drums? No, a Wujing War Compass, the Jade War Drum, Zaytang the Watcher, some Iron Hail Gunners, Celestial Dragon Crossbows, and Celestial Dragon Guard as a front line. What is this? What am I looking at right now? Because he's got the wild tech. What does the War Drum even fucking do? I don't know. But Iron Hails murder Chaos Furies of Slaanesh. That's what they do. We just saw that happen. So that's exciting. Goodbye, Furies. Zaytang's winning it all. Anyway, the Jade War Drum. We can give armor, or magic attacks, or melee attack and reload. Does give a whole bunch of leadership. Does currently do that. It currently doesn't have any of its drums active, so it does need to get the drums going. It doesn't start off with a drum. Chaos Fury Summon is in, trying to stop the Iron Hail Gunners. Yambo is going to dive down and help with that a little bit. Oh no, and the Fiends get stopped. They just lost the plot right in front of the Celestial Dragon Crossbows, which Celestial Dragon Crossbows are one of the best crossbow units in the game, so they do a ton of damage to those Fiends, pushing them off. Fiends get reactivated, going to try and dive in now, but is it too late for them already? Plow into the Celestial Dragon's going to get a lot of damage out there, but there's one of the bound comets of the War Drum. Not the War Drum, the other one. War Compass. Bastion of the Great Cities is out, giving more armor to the Celestial Dragon Guard, which is quite nice. And Cathay is up by quite a lot, though I do think a lot of their power is locked up. Are those Hellflayers? Oh god, those are Hellflayers. I hope for your sake they work, but in my testing they still suck ass, but let's see it. Nice big charge, not nice big damage, as the Jade Warrior Halberds are unaffected by the Hellflayer charge. Talons of Night is coming out from Yembo to kill off these Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh. A little bit of friendly fire onto the Celestial Dragon Guard. Oh, a lot of friendly fire onto the Celestial Dragon Guard. Oh god, so much friendly fire on the Celestial Dragon Guard. No! No, they're all dying. Zaytang's trying to get some shots off, but I think Slaanesh is about to come back on the balance power in a big way. As the Celestial Dragon Crossbows are pushed off, the Iron Hails are pushed off, these Jade Warriors are about to be pushed off, and we just lost an entire Celestial Dragon Guard to a friendly fire Talons. Fiends are beating up on the Jade War Drum. And that balance of power is going right back towards the middle. Like we said, these very expensive single entity support chariots. When they die fast. The Hellflayers still try to push their way through the front line. Ratling's kind of got a buff. It's true, kind of. Kinda. Zaytang's still very healthy, but he's just not in a position to keep firing. And firing is what he needs to do. He's terrible in melee. But, like, what's he going to do? He's surrounded by Exalted Demonettes, so they're just going to tear him limb from limb. Hellflayers are trying to run over all these guys, while Celestial Dragon Crossbows try and reform ranks and shoot at them a little bit. Hellflayers should be able to win that fight back there. If they can't, I'll be very sad. Chaos Warrior is currently getting eaten by a Talons of Night. Punched and pushed around by Yenbo as he hunts down the Herald of Slaanesh. And he's going to have to transform into his human form at some point and hit her with the good old execution. Maybe if Zaytang can get a shot or two off at her, just to lower her down enough to get the execute out, could be a good way to win this game for the forces of Grand Cathay. Bound Comet is about to hit these Demonettes square in the face. It also manages to hit the Celestial Dragon Guard because Cathay's spells, that one wasn't their fault. There's some random drift on it, and it drifts straight into the Celestial Dragon Guard. But anyway, yeah. Cathay's spells have been betraying him quite badly recently. Fury of Fallen Blades giving the Celestial Dragon Guard magic attacks. Though the multiple debuffs of the Fiends and then the Exalted Demonettes is proving quite difficult for them to deal with. Narcissism is silencing our poor boy Yembo, just as he's trying to get active. And some of the Cathay ranged units are being allowed to come back. The Hellflayers return to the fight to try and get some rear charges rather than focus on chasing those guys off. Now they're returning to their task of chasing people off. Hellflayer's going to go straight through the Jade Warriors, take off about 400 of their remaining 800 HP, and that should knock them off the map for good this time. Yambo really needs to transform into a human and hit this lady with his execution. I think that would do a lot, because she is demonic, right? If you get her low enough, she'll just kill herself off. The Vein of Slanesh going to rampage Zaytang again. Yambo's still running after this lady. Don't think he can cast... Yeah, he still has his Executioner. He can't cast it from his Dragon form. War Drum is holding, giving Celestial Dragon Guard Harmony, which gives them leadership, and then it naturally gives them leadership. So that's a lot of leadership coming out of the War Drum. The Hellflayers do disintegrate, allowing the Celestial Dragon Guard to come back for real. There's nothing left to run them down except for the Fiends. The Fiends would have to be committed way out there. Zaytang still trying to get some form of shooting going, but he keeps ending up next to these Exalted Demonettes who are just really destroying him. We have no more bound spells. We're going to need a Yambo Talons of Night to kill off some of these Demonettes. Celestial Dragon Guard are trying to return to the fight, but they're returning too far. And unfortunately, they are going to get run down by Demonettes without firing back. There's a good Talons of Night onto Fiends and Chaos Warriors and all this stuff. And Yambo once again hits the Herald of Slanesh. For the love of God, Ben, turn into a human and execute that bitch! Execute her! Turn into a human, Yambo! Talons of Night did some good damage. Zaytang charges in, gets a little bit of damage onto the Fiends, and another rampages out onto Yambo, but he just rampages into the target he was chasing down anyway. But the War Drum is gone. That means Cathay loses its aura of leadership. It loses its aura of melee attack. Yambo's still rampaging through. He's not gonna execute this lady in time, and she honestly just needs to run away. Because if he turns into human form, she is literally dead on the spot. She needs to get out of the range of his execution if he ever decides to go human form. Just go human form, dude! She's literally in the execute range. Do it! It's the only target you can use the execute on. There it is! I didn't know he could use it in his execute in his dragon form. Never mind, he doesn't need to be a human. He can just be whatever. And now, with her dead, there's a leadership spike that might be able to win Grand Cathay the game, but it's looking really tough to kill out the Fiends. Narcissism nets Zaytang the Watcher in place, and wow, I really didn't know he could use the execution ability while he's in dragon form. That's kind of pog. Alright, does he have more Talons of Night in the bank? Does not look like it. He's used an awful lot of them over the course of this game, but you never know. One good Talons of Night onto both Exalted Demonettes could win this game, because I doubt the Fiends can beat Yambo on their own. Zaytang is starting to crumble away. He hates being in melee combat. This is it. Talons of Night or die. Depends on how much Winds of Magic you have. Yambo surrounded by crazy tentacle monsters getting chased down. Does try and path his way out. He doesn't have anything attacking right now, so if you're being technical about the rules, you can't do that. He has to be fighting something at all times. Just a heads up. If you care, it's a new player tournament. We're generally pretty chill about that stuff here. As you can see that I'm not really raising my voice about it. It's just kind of like a, hey, if you care. But Yambo is stuck. Still trying to pathway from these old Demonettes. Army losses takes him, and Slanesh gets a win in a very close game, considering how weird Falling Star's build was. That was kind of wild. That was wild. I'm saving up some more replays. Game feels like it's in a good place now, seeing a wide array of factions. Kiro, PNW. True. So here's the thing. Kiro. This game sucks ass. Alright, that's the stream. No, I do think with every patch, balance is getting better. I and a lot of people, I'm going to just scroll over the values. Yumbo did very, very well. I and a lot of people wish CA would fix some of the things that are more obviously broken. Like, Grail Knights have been broken for a year and 3 months, and they still haven't been, like, significantly nerfed. They've been getting slow nerfed, like, ooh, 50 more gold, ooh, 50 more gold, -2 melee attack, but that shit doesn't really change anything. And then healing has been OP forever, and they just keep, like, I'm going to increase its Winds of Magic cost by 2. I'm going to reduce its seconds by 2, where it's like, again, I appreciate you're listening, right? You're listening. You're targeting the things I asked you to target, so I can't be that mad. But it's like, this thing is so ridiculous and has dominated the meta for so long. You can't love tap it by like 5% increments. It's still going to be really fucking good. Now, again, I can't reiterate enough. I am so appreciative they've been listening. I've had a lot of meetings with, well, meetings is such an official thing. Yeah, sorry, someone had a question for me. I'm very appreciative CA has been listening, and we've had a lot of like talks about what would be good balance and stuff. So I appreciate that. It's just I wish there'd be a little more aggressive on it. But it is a campaign-focused game, so I try to like remember that not everything's about multiplayer, where it's like you don't want to make healing suck for campaign because people like it. Muffin Master 2 and 2 again, not bad. Let's go. I need to grab something to drink, so let's find our next game and get it loading up. I don't think I've cast any Burnt Toast yet. Does Burnt Toast play anybody that I haven't cast as well? Because we gotta find some more Burnt Toast out here. Hey, Burnt Toast versus Dr. Nerd. Let's go. All right, I'm going to hit watch replay, and then I'm going to run, grab a sparkling water, and get right back before the game even starts. 3, 2, 1, go! All right, I'm back. Burnt Toast versus Dr. Nerd, also known as NC Skaven's greatest best. Yes, yes. But Dr. Nerd. All right, for Burnt Toast, we have Orc Boarboy Rush with Azhag up in the sky watching it. We do have some Goblin Archers, a couple River Trolls, Squig Herds, the River Troll ROR, the Swamp Things, and then Goblins and Orc Boys for a frontline. The other side for Dr. Nerd, Orc Boarboy Biggins and Orc Biggin frontline, Black Orcs backing them up, including Crimson Killers, Grimgore, and an Orc Shaman with Here We Go, Brainburster, Case of Mork, and some Orc RO Boys. This is an all-Orc, all-day build versus a little more cohesive of a united force. Squigs and Goblins piling into the Orc Biggins. Usually a very potent combo. For only, I believe, 700 gold, these guys are paired up, so Goblins and Squigs very good. They're also quite good. The advantage the Green Army's going to have is they're going to charge Wah a lot faster than the Red Army, so they should get the first Wah off, which can determine a lot of things. Orc Boarboy Biggins fighting. Hey, there's the first Wah. I know things. I know things about this video game we cast. Anyway. This Boarboy is taking a lot of damage. These other guys need to stop backing off and get back in there while their Wah is still active. But here comes the counter Wah from the red side. And Orc Biggins plus Grimgore are pushing back the center. Both of the flanks are going to the green team, however. Their River Trolls and the River Troll ROR supporting, helping out quite a lot. And their superiority in their Bacon Cav is nice. Though we do have some Broken Tusk mobs just sitting in the trees AFK. They do have to get active. They need to get active soon. Azhag's also going to need to join a fight, provide some of his spooky terror, though I suppose Black Orcs are ITP. Orc Boarboy Biggins about to get killed for the red side. And Grimgore and his boys pushing straight through the front. Goblin Archers being forced back. Overall, pretty even game state. There we go. Broken Tusk Mob get involved. Orc Boarboy Biggins pushed off. And that is another flank secured for the forces of the greenskins. Turtle Punch, I was just watching a Super Smash Bros. Tournament while I was working out with someone who had a very similar name to yours. Are you a Super Smash Bros. Pro who plays Incineroar? Because if you are, you're my hero. Would you prefer an increased cost on Grails or a stat nerf? Increased cost. But here's the thing about Grail Knights, is what I really want is for healing to be nerfed. Because Grail Knights, sorry to pause this, I want to answer this person's question, but I don't want to fuck over the players by not casting their game. Here's the thing about Grail Knights, is they're not that OP. The problem is healing. The problem is healing. When you charge in with Grail Knights, if you charge them into a bad situation, or I cast a good spell on them, or we take an even trade with armor-piercing anti-large cavalry versus your armor-piercing anti-large cavalry, Grail Knights should win. Grail Knights should be the best anti-large armor-piercing cavalry in the game. That's cool, Human Boy. They are. What are you complaining about? The part I'm complaining about is when we trade, I die, and you're at a quarter HP, and then your little damsel that costs 450 fucking gold raises her arms, regrowths you, and your Grail Knight is back to full HP. It's insane. And it's just kind of like unfun at this point. There needs to be more punish. Because the difference between a good Bretonia player and a meh Bretonia player is pretty indistinguishable right now, just because of how many mistakes regrowth covers up. Where Grail Knights are the type of unit that the type of hyper elite, very responsive, but rather fragile unit that should reward good play, and currently they don't. They reward fine play. They reward okay play. And they do reward good play. But the barrier to that entry needs to be much higher for that unit type to be fun. Because if you're just getting raffle stomped by elite units all game, you just feel fucking miserable. But like, if you catch them and you finally nail down those fucking Grail Knights and you get a good play, you want that to matter. And with healing in the current game, it just doesn't. Kind of the same as like a Dread Saurian heal blob for the Lizardmen. That's gone out of fashion, thankfully, but it's like, it feels so bad when, like, maybe you net the Dread Saurian and you Plague of Rust overcast it and then you hit it with a bunch of handgunners, right? And you're like, fuck yeah, I just took out 3/4 of that thing's HP and that's like 3,400 gold. I'm doing so well. And then a Slan goes, brrr, and the Dread Saurian's back to full fucking health rolling through you, and it just feels bad. So that's more of the nerf I want for Grail Knights, is not make Grail Knights useless. It's like, take healing down a lot. And that's when we're talking about, like, I said, you know, oh, these nerfs aren't enough. People like, they nerfed regrowth like 10%. Yeah, and it's something, but we need multiple patches. Like, honestly, when regrowth was at its height, which it's taken 2 nerfs now, and I acknowledge that, but when regrowth was at its height, I said, and I stand by, it could be cut in half and still be fine. It would fall out of meta, it would fall out of being OP, but it would be fine. People would still take regrowth in certain situations. And I was serious about that. So we've taken 2 nerfs. So now, from its current state, I don't think you could cut it in half and it would be fine. It'd probably be a bad spell. But what I was saying back then is still true, that, like, the way we're nerfing it, we need, like, 5 or 6 regrowth nerfs before it's reasonable, rather than one big one, which is why I'm kind of like, I appreciate that CA is nerfing regrowth. I appreciate they're listening. But they didn't seem to understand the intensity of the problem. It's like, this is a problem, let's start working on it. It's like, you're pouring buckets of water on a fire that's consuming a house. We need a helicopter. So that's my issue with Grail Knights right now. Cost change is probably the best. Wonder if multiplayer specific healing cap nerf for like 33%, that'd also be fine, yeah. Alright, anyway, back to the game. So Azhag is lurking. He has started Spirit Leeching Grimgore down a little bit. Taxing that HP pool, we can get some Goblin Archers back up, and it looks like Green is coming back in for their second wind. Their Goblin frontline routed off, and now they just need to use their flanks that they have won to their advantage. I'm a little worried how often I see Boar Boys standing around, because that is their advantage, so Green has to make the most out of these Boar Boys. And that means they're going to have to be charging in quite a lot. But a good rear charge on the Black Orcs over there. This charge is a little more optimistic. There's nothing really going on here, so now you're just going to fight Orc Biggins and lose. They do need to back off. Gaze of Mork pokes down Azhag a little bit. But another rear charge in from the Broken Tusk Mob onto these Black Orcs. These are good engagements. I like this. Don't sacrifice your Boar Boys that are in this middle pocket. Just get them out of here. You're doing well in the flanks. Clean up the flanks. Regather your forces. And then hit this middle fortress that Dr. Nerd has going. charging into the middle fortress, like all of these Orc Biggins and Black Orcs and Grimgor and the caster, charging into all that kind of half-assed without your full force is just going to lead to failure, and we can see both these guys are pushed off. Really good pick-offs on these sides, though. These Black Orcs are getting chewed up. It looks like the Boar Boys also aren't staying in melee combat too long, which is good to see. You don't want to sit in melee combat with Black Orcs as Boar Boys. All of your advantage comes from your charge bonus. Bye, Awesome Rhino. Marcus, glad you had some fun, dude. If you didn't know, I know we have a lot of people who played our new player tournament for the first time. We host this every single week. I switch time zones every week, though. So next week it'll be more European-friendly and in the middle of the American workday. And then the week after that, it'll be at this time again. So if you enjoyed it, every other week it'll be at the time zone that is favorable for you. FYI. Goblin Archer's trying to poke at the Orc Shaman. That's fine. Any targets are fine, except for I probably wouldn't shoot Grimgor with Goblin Archers. Just not enough there for them to shoot, unfortunately. But a Spirit Leech onto the Orc Shaman. Second and final red wall is out. I don't know if green used their second wall already. Might have just missed it, to be honest. River Trolls and Orc Boar Biggins fighting side by side against Orc Biggins and Grimgor. The Orc Biggins might trade up in that fight if they don't rout beforehand. And the Orc Boar Boy is still running things down. So far, pretty good stuff. Green side is trying to finish off some Black Orcs, then rally, like we discussed before. We do have Goblin Archers shooting into what I'm still going to keep calling the Fortress. The Fortress of Red Power. Another Gazemorg pokes down Azhag. The Broken Tusk Mob have shattered off some Orc Biggins. They do need to return to the fight over here. Orc Boar Biggins overcommitting, unfortunately, next to Crimson Killas and Grimgor. It looks like they're trying to bust out of here, though, so I appreciate that. Keep it moving. Orc Shaman's about to rout. The bounce power keeps getting a little worse for Red here and there. But overall, Red's holding on. It really depends on how many Spirit Leeches Azhag has left, because if he's out of spells, then Grimgor and the Crimson Killas have a legitimate shot of grinding through everything else. But if there's Spirit Leeches galore, then Grimgor can get whittled down enough. That's not much of a problem. Hey, Seeds. Human Boy, how do you feel about the Sisters of Twilight heal? I think it's a little too... It's too bad. Yeah, I think that one needs a buff. Marcus, we are happy to have you, my friend. Happy to have you. The River Trolls that were fighting near Grimgor and the Crimson Killers are routed off. Now, we still have a full health Broken Tusk Mob. We have the Swamp Things trying to heal up. 2 Goblin Archers with tons of ammunition. Not a lot of DPS, but tons of ammunition. And then we have some Orc Boys. Half health Azhag. For Dr. Nerd, Crimson Killas very healthy, Grimgor very, very healthy, and an Orc Arboy that is just about to rout any second now. Orc Shaman is shut down. Once and for all. Crimson Killas doing some Crimson killing on these basic Orc Boys. That will not be a close fight at all. Crimson Killers are cleaving through these guys. But Azhag is just Spirit Leech kiting, while the rest of his forces clean up anybody that separates out of the fortress. Grimgor proving he is superior to all these normal Orc Boys. Cleaves through a couple more, gets them routing. Brad Tavis, great tourney, thanks for hosting. Anytime, dude, anytime. Well, not anytime, once a week, anytime. People are asking me if anybody won. How are we doing? We have 1 game remaining before I can actually determine what the scores are, so be patient. We'll get there. Alright. Grimgor is in the middle of it still. Crimson Kill is also fighting, as the Orc Boar Biggins going to charge in to these heavily armored lads, who are just swinging in all directions. But army losses actually just takes out Grimgor before his time. Brutal. Alright, let me check on the bracket score here. So we have 1 game being fought still. Do we have any perfect 4-0s? Torison has a perfect 4-0. Fish the Oxy and Out There. Fish the Oxy could get a 4-0 if he beats Out There. Okay, so we might have a tiebreaker. Cool, that's fine. For Burnt Toast, good win. Overall, really good handling of his army. There were a couple things I didn't like, but they were minor issues. Overall, he did have a good strategy for what happens when you lose your centers. He just ran the fuck away with his archers and then won the flanks and came back later to get his archers. That was pretty good. For Skaven best, yes. For an all-orc fun, I don't know if it's a meme build, because it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad build, but it's not, like, optimal. But he took all orc units, is the joke. He didn't take any goblins. For kind of a half meme build, he played it pretty darn well. Had good engagements overall. Black orcs churned through a lot of stuff. Kept his orc arboys online. Held a good center. Didn't get picked off. So, yeah. Both players played good. Burnt Toast's build was a little more competitive, so when both of them played at about equal skill levels, it's like, all right, that's when the better build determines something. You can have a dogshit build and outplay your opponent pretty much in anything, but if you're roughly equal skill level, that's when matchup knowledge and build knowledge really comes into play. But if you're like just miles ahead of your opponent, then you're probably going to win anyway. Which is sometimes when I'm talking to... And I'm not trying to flame anybody, I'm just being real for a second, so don't take this as a negative. But it's one of the things that I talk to the most about with new players, where like someone will present to me as like a piece of evidence, like, oh, dude, like, Queek is so good. Like, you think I'm kidding, but anyway, people will be like, oh, dude, Queek is so good. My enemy had, I got like 4,000 value with him versus fucking vampire counts. And I go, oh, okay, what was the situation? And I watched the replay they sent me, and it's like, they took Vlad von Karstein and double White King. Vlad had all of his spells, which makes him like 700 gold more expensive than he should be. They walked into Queek with no support, and they were in the middle of like clan rats. So Queek was attacking Vlad while Vlad was attacking clan rats. He kills Vlad, he kills both White Kings, and then he fights like zombies and shit for the rest of the game. And yeah, he gets insane value and he wins. And I'm like, dude, you just played way better than your opponent. Like, Queek wasn't why you won that game. You won that game because you're way better than the other guy. Like, this doesn't tell me Queek's good. This tells me you're good. So, anyway. Yeah, it's just a little thing. So in a way, it's a compliment, but yeah, when I watch these replays sometimes, I'm like, how do I explain to you without being a dick that, like, I still don't think that character's any good. You were just fighting someone who's bad. I don't think we've cast any out there yet. We haven't cast any Lowry yet. Cast both of them. Cast both of them. Twerkman and Tall. Who the hell are you people? Let's fucking go. I might have I've cast a Tall game, but I haven't cast any Twerkman. And it looked fun, so sue me. Oh, hold on. Hey, let's go! Okay, we do have... Oh, that's Queen Bess. Hold on, everybody. Sorry, I gotta do tournament things so that people can go to bed, because some people have stayed up for this tournament. We have 2 4-0s. Torison and Fish the Oxy do need to play off. Torison and Fish the Oxy... Congrats on the 4-0, boys. Please face off for finals and send me the replay. Fish is top bracket. All right, so we will have a finals that we will cast soon, but for now, on to the game we are dealing with. Shade Wraith Gunners, Depth Guard, Double Mortars, and Queen Bess. Meanwhile, we have a front line of polearms and deckhands mobs. We have some bombers, Count Noctilus, Syrenes, and a gunnery wight with Scabscrath and Reload, among other things. For the dwarves, there's a bunch of units that are already fucking dead, but we have some dwarf warriors, we have some quarrelers, longbeards with great weapons, more dwarf warriors, more quarrelers, gyrocopters, all with brimstone guns, Thoric and a Thane, and some trollhammer torpedoes, some thunderers. Real mixed bag of a dwarven force, as Queen Bess is not letting him get away with it unscathed. The Queen Bess does need to switch targets here. John Ash is joining us on the stream. I do believe I cast one of your games earlier, sir, so you might not get another game of yours cast tonight. Just an FYI, if that bums you out, just rewind the stream to the part where your game did get cast. But I am trying to get around to everybody at least once, and there's a shitload of people playing, which probably means we're not going to double up too much unless you happen to be the opponent of one of the people I'm looking for, which, you know, happens. But essentially, I'm just not casting your games because I hate you. I think that's what you can take away from that message, is the Shade Wraith Gunners peel off one of the gyrocopters. Other gyrocopter is here to make their life a little bit miserable. Meanwhile, Queen Bess still firing away, and Queen Bess really needs to change target. She's been shooting for far too long at this already routed Quarreler. Sure, she's going to rout him again, but you have limited time to get through these Longbeards and Dwarf Warriors that are closing in on your backline, so you do got to get shooting at them much faster. Shade Wraith Gunner is going to kill another gyrocopter. And wow, Brimstone guns still suck. Still suck real bad. Johnny Cash messaging that he hates me. That's also cool. That's also fine. I think I deserved that. I think I deserved that. Thank you, Mr. Cash. Thank you so much. Pit of Shades in the backline going to hit some Dwarf Warriors and some Quarrelers. And the gyrocopters are trying to bomb Queen Bess out of existence while Queen Bess still shoots at that same fucking Quarreler that's done nothing wrong. Actually, no, it did switch targets. That's a different Quarreler. That's also fucked up now because Queen Bess has messed it up so badly, but the gyrocopters diving in like the sky doggos they truly are. Gonna knock Queen Bess offline the hard way. And the depth guard have no idea this is happening. Now they run back. They heard me. Oh, fuck. It's a replay. So there's no possible way I rigged it, but it does feel like I did as Queen Bess shoots at these poor Thunderers. Dude, this Queen Bess refuses to go after things that are full HP anymore. It's just a scavenger. It's like, no, I will kill things that are already half dead. Thank you very much. Fuck you. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me how to live my life. Let's go, Twerk. It's like his second tourney. Good. Good. Good! No, we're happy to have everybody. Except for Top Pot. Top Pot brings me too much joy, and therefore I'm not happy to have him. Another Pit of Shades onto the Dwarf Warriors. Thoric and his Thane are here, but much like... okay, if you're a longtime viewer of the stream, you've heard me say this before. Fuck you, you're going to hear it again. Skaven, Vampire Coast, the Empire, anybody with a lot of shooting, they tend to get very far ahead on the balance of power, and then all of a sudden, those shooting units get shut down, and then we see how far ahead they really were, if they're far enough ahead to stay ahead, or if it was all an illusion and they all of a sudden fall behind. As Queen Bess and the Mortar teams are in dire trouble, the Shade Wraith Gunners are also very, very low. The Dwarven Warriors are here to just start walking towards these guys ominously, can finally shut them down and get the balance of power back in their favor a bit. Gunnery White and Count Noctilus wondering what they're going to do about Thoric and the Thane, as Thoric and the Thane stand next to Queen Bess and just admire the craftsmanship for now, you know? Just kind of like, wow, it is firing real big boom boom balls. That is entertaining to watch. I like that. We should get one of these. The Engineers Guild would never allow it, but fuck it. I'm Thor goddamn Grudgebearer. What are they gonna do? That's Thoric Ironbrow. Thor Grim Grudgebearer is the High King. They're different characters. I misspoke. No! No, you didn't. You're just stupid. You're stupid and dumb. Both things can be true. Alright, they are busy fighting Depth Guard in front of Queen Bess, but not shutting down Queen Bess. The Gyrocopter Brimstone guns come in. They are going to hit a very clumped up Depth Guard, who are flammable right now. Ooey owie, that was a good volley. We like that, as Longbeards are still trying to fight back against Sirens. The Shade Wraith Gunners have been online for an unholy amount of time, which is more of a props to the Vampire Coast player than really shouting at the Dwarf player, because the Dwarves don't have a lot of agency. I think they're going to want the Gyrocopter Brimstone gun pick back, but finally this one is starting to pay dividends as it fucks up these Depth Guard. But overall, I do think the Steam Cannon ones are just better in like every single way. Queen Bess's crew escapes from their untimely fate, but Noctilus maybe goes in too greedily and too deep. He is a strange melee character, because you would think he's good at melee combat from his stats, but he's actually kind of shit at it, and the Dwarves are very, very good. So Noctilus is in for a bad fucking time. As the Mortars keep trying to rout off Dwarves, which they are doing, the Dwarven roster is getting rather limited. It's now Thoric and the Thane who are healthy. Everybody else is taking just so much fucking damage. And these Dwarf Warriors, unfortunately, a little AFK in front of the Mortar teams. They're tactically fighting them, but they do need new, fresh orders to attack more of the Mortar team than just the ones they happen to be next to. But there, the Shade Wraith Gunners go down at last. Some Longbeards catch on to them. Queen Bess is slowly crumbling away of her own volition, so that is going to be 2 expensive pieces off the field for the Vampire Coast. Noctilus is dueling with Thoric, who gives himself the Rune of Speed to be a winner, to be a champion. The deck droppers are gone. Is it a comeback? Because the Dwarves are all of a sudden 50-50 on the balance of power. I told you they were fraudulent. I told you they couldn't actually win, and you wouldn't believe me. You were blinded by the light. You said Queen Bess is shiny. Ooh, damage is good. Ooh, damage is great. And I told you it was a fraud, and you just wouldn't believe because you're easily lied to. Noctilus gets completely bodied by Thoric. He is dead. Balance of power turns against the Vampire Coast, and I was right all along. I never doubted it. I never doubted the Dwarves. You can't prove it. You can't prove it, Ricky Bobby. They're fucking dead. Rune of Wrath and Ruin's gonna hurt these Depth Guard by quite a lot. Boom, big damage. Mortar teams are gone. Army losses hits. Fuck you, I was right. I love Ungrim Ironbearer, my favorite character. It was a good attempt by Tall. It was a good attempt. I think he played really, really well around the Shade Wraith Gunners. But the Mortars just kind of weren't it with, like, Queen Bess. This was just too much of the same artillery type where it's like, I kill infantry. Got it, but, like, what kills Thoric? Thoric got 2,900 value. Thane got 1,100. So his single entity killing power just wasn't there. The Gyrocopters all actually managed to pay for themselves despite the fact that Shade Wraith Gunners massacred them, which I find a little surprising. So, yeah. But the dwarf infantry got messed up. It's just their single entities and Gyrocopters were relatively uncontested, which was pretty brutal. All right, what one was that? Oh God. Oh, it's all lost in the sauce. No, dude. What was it? Oh God. Oh, fuck. No, that's not it. There it is. All right, get it out of here. I got overwhelmed by the helos in the micro. Thiago, if you were tall, you did pretty well. I think you just had, like I said, I think you had too much infantry killing. It wasn't your micro that let you down. Your micro was fine. It was like just too many of the same type of unit. And the dwarves slowly marched at you. Where, like, yeah. And you might be like, earlier, didn't you say a bad build can win when you're better than the player? You said he has good micro, how did you lose? I mean, the dwarves also seem to be fine. They didn't forget units in the woods. They kept moving up constantly. They got their gyrocopters on the right targets. I only noticed them slip up once or twice where they had a gyrocopter just sit still while getting shot at by the Shade Wraith Gunners. But, like, overall, I think these players had a roughly equal micro, and then the build weaknesses of the Vampire Coast just showed themselves a little bit more. Which, you know, happens. Onwards, I suppose. I don't see any replays from Sisidamon besides the one with Lamb Sauce, so we're going to do that. Lamb Sauce is not actually a new player. FYI. You might be like, why is he here? I asked him to play with Sisidamon because he's one of the players that's like fine playing with newer players. He'll just play some more fun things. And Sisidamon got matched with the same person twice, which happens. It's RNG who your opponents are. But his opponent never showed up for the tournament, so he was just stuck waiting around. So Lamb Sauce played with him to fill some of the time. And since this is the only replay I have of the good sir, we'll cast it. So Nurgle versus High Elves. For Lamb Sauce, we have a Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle with Miasma of Pestilence and Stream of Corruption. The Rotting Riders, Chaos Lord of Nurgle, and then Pestigors and Marauders for a frontline with Plague Toads backing them up. On the other side, for the High Elves, we have the upgraded Fireborn, Puremain Company, and other White Lions scattered throughout, Silverin Guard, Swordmasters of Hoeth, a Mage of Life with Dwellers and Earthblood, and then Tyrion, Heir of Anarion. The Fireborn taking their first fight with the Rotting Riders, and they will need healing quickly, but only Earthblood is around for them. But this, oof, Father of Blades and Miasma of Pestilence taking them down to 5 melee attack, and the Rotting Riders are massacring the upgraded Fireborn just because of how low they got that melee attack stat. They couldn't land any hits on the Rotting Riders, not at all. Spearmen also take a lot of damage from something I didn't see, and it is a disastrous start for the High Elves. Some Lion Chariots of Christ are trying to get in there and fight with maybe some upgrades. Sunfang goes down the line doing good damage to those Marauders. But where is the Dwellers Below to punish this big old blob? It's really the only thing that can help now as the Rotting Riders finish off the Fireborn. Swordmasters getting into the battle, and I think the High Elves will be happy that their elite infantry aren't getting kited out. Their Swordmasters actually get to fight some things. Their White Lions get to fight some things, but the fights aren't going their way as that massive play from Lamb Sauce with the double melee attack debuff just taking the Fireborn completely out of the fight. Like 59 melee defense of the Rotting Riders versus 5 melee attack for the Fireborn. Sure, they have bonus versus large, but not that much bonus versus large. That was a wild combo. Tyrion is fighting the Chaos Lord, a good fight for him to be in. I am really looking for a Dwellers Below to punish any of these blobs. I hope the High Elves can get one out, because they really needed to stay in this game. Swordmasters living their best life, just cleaving through everybody in the front line. Looks like Lions, Chariots, and Krays are also doing quite well. Over here, their Pyramid Company and other White Lions fighting back-to-back with some Spearmen, as the High Elves are really just relying on jacked-up melee stats to win this. Stream of Corruption is out through both forces as an Earthblood tries to heal them up. I really want to see some Winds of Magic dedicated to a Dwellers Below, just because of how blobbed Lamb Sauce's forces are. I feel like that could be a game changer, as Tyrion is going to take a fight with the Rotting Riders. But he's poisoned. He's getting beat up by the Chaos Lord of Nurgle. Even though he has his own self-healing, you really don't want to force it like that unless you have to. High Elf still manageable on the balance power, just slightly down. Rot or Die is popped. Curse of the Slug is on to Tyrion, slowing him down. Father of Blades is also there, getting rid of some of that melee attack. Father of Blades has not spread to the Swordmasters of Hosts. They still get their melee stats, but they desperately need it. And what we desperately need is the fucking Dwellers Below. I'm going to keep saying it till it happens, because right here, 2 infantry units and the Rotting Riders would get massacred, securing Tyrion some space to breathe, and then he might be able to kill the Chaos Lord of Nurgle as soon as Father of Blade wears off and his Heart of Avalorn pops. Terror Route hits him, and he takes a big shot. He might just naturally route before he gets his heal. There's his big heal before he naturally routes, which means he will come back when he is desperately needed. But the Hives are very far behind in the balance of power. Pyramid Company still fighting over there. Where's the Dwellers Below? Get me the Dwellers Below! Oh, Tyrion routes. That's probably GG, because Nurgle's just going to chase him off the map, and there's no one with the dueling prowess to take out anything. High Elves are falling apart everywhere. We have some Swordmasters terror routing. Lions of Krays going to terror route too soon. And that'll be GG as the High Elves just spam out Earthbloods. Yo, potato salad. It's not a bad thought, but their melee attack sucks. They need the intellect to kick in. Yeah. Army losses should be hitting soon, as this is looking very much over for the High Elves. Lion Chariots of Krays trying to get some work done, but it is just the Pyramid Company and a mage, and it's a healing mage with no one left to heal. Good Nurgle rush, but I think that is GG. Tall sending in Nurgle versus Lizardmen. Tyrion did alright. White Lions did okay. Silver and Guard did fine. Swordmasters did well. And the Fireborn did their best, but honestly that was more of a sick combo from Lamb Sauce than like Cinnamon making a mistake or the Fireborn not being a good unit. One man's good play is not necessarily another man's mistake. It's just like, oh, well, fuck, that was a good play. Jesus! Alright, so we got that. I'm continuing my search. You couldn't use Dwellers Below because I was casting Earthblood every CD. I didn't have enough Winds of Magic. But did you ever think about the fact that I wanted it? Did you ever think that I wanted to see the big Dwellers Below? You didn't. You didn't think about that, did you? Why does nobody ever think about me? We have Out There versus Fisho. I think I might have cast a Fisho game. I don't believe I've cast an Out There game. And if I didn't cast a Fisho game, 2 for 1. Tomb Kings versus Beastmen. On the Tomb King side, we have buffed Cetra the Imperishable, especially if he's on his kitty cat. Then I think he's double buffed. We have nothing else. Nothing else they have is buffed that's on his current roster. He's not on his kitty cat. Never mind. They might have taken an entire build that did not get buffed. Which is funny, because the Tomb King's roster actually got a ton of buffs, but not for these units. Tomb Guard with Halberds, Kepler Guard, front line of Spears, triple Sepulchral Stalker, one of the Eyes of the Desert, triple Carrion, and Cetra the Imperishable on horse with Usurian's Incantation of Vengeance and Curse Blades. On the other side, we have Ungor Herds, Minotaurs, Pestigors, a couple Ungor Raiders, a Traitor King Caster, and Torox the Brass Bull. Some Centaurs Thorax as well. This is pretty standard Beastman fare, except for Torox. Torox really hasn't been seen in a hot minute, but he is good against Tomb Kings because of his fire damage. Now, Tomb Kings, you might be like, Cuban boy, everyone says Tomb Kings are weak to fire damage, but only the Kepler Guard are weak to fire damage. No. Fire damage reduces healing, and the Tomb King's whole army passive is giving army-wide bursts of regeneration, so anything that's on fire does not get that benefit. Therefore, fire good. Therefore, you bad. Therefore, I'm right. Torox is currently caving the skulls in of these Eyes of the Desert with a bit of help from his Minotaur friends. Usurian's Incantation of Vengeance is trying to slow them down, but it ain't slowing down shit. Brass Body is trying to keep Torox alive as Cetra swings through as best he can, but the Minotaurs surrounding Torox have taken significant damage. Pestigors and the Beastmen frontline are doing their best, as these other Spokestalkers Stalkers are also beat up by Minotaurs, who are also taking a lot of damage. So, both sides taking insane damage to start off this game, and the balance of power is dead even. Only a minute and a half in, and already we've lost like 3 expensive units from the battlefield. Beastmen burst through on the south side. Tomb Guard with Halberds are trying to stop them, but they're actually behind the Beastmen, so the Beastmen could charge forward and help out Torox if they want to. Torox is in a very bad way. Cetra is an anti-large armor-piercing duelist, and he is behind Torox, and Torox is busy fighting Spokestalkers Stalkers who are anti-large armor-piercing of their own. He's now trying to run away. He needs one of these infantry units to break off of combat from the Tomb Guard and come over and help him, or the Minotaurs. Anybody needs to help Torox right now. Carrion are getting peeled off the backline by the Bray Shaman as he tries to save the Ungor Raiders. And the Beastman frontline is still beating up on the Tomb Kings, so they're getting rear charged by Nakar Horsemen. But Torox being left to his own devices is a disaster. And now he can't even run, because if Cetra wants to chase him, he's faster, and if he doesn't chase him, the Sepulchral Stalkers will shoot Torox on the way out, and I like this a lot. Cetra's not pursuing him because he knows he could do more damage by letting the Sepulchral Stalkers shoot at Torox rather than rear charging him. Look at all that damage, and now Cetra can swoop in. That is beautiful play from the Tomb Kings. That is just perfect for what to do in that situation. Let the Sepulchral Stalkers shoot, get all of that damage off for free, and then charge in. It is gorgeous. Now the Sepulchral Stalkers are going to turn towards the Minotaurs, and I am very impressed with the Tomb King's micro here. They've been making all the right decisions. The Beastman player is not bad either, but I'm just rather impressed with the Tomb Kings. Again, one man's outplay does not mean the other player misplayed. I'm celebrating the good play of the Tomb Kings. It's not like the Beastmen are playing like shit. This was a pretty close game until Torox died, and then Torox died just swung it so hard. Look at all of these units breaking just because their Lord died. Like, their leadership bars are already going positive again, but they already broke, giving the Tomb Kings complete battlefield control. All of a sudden, army losses hits, and in a 3-minute game, it is over. But that was beautiful from Fisho and Out There. Really good stuff from both players, but that... how to handle the Torox snipe was just beautiful. Minotaurs did pretty well. Pestigors struggled to get through the front line. Ungor Raiders did quite nicely. And Torox just overextended, unfortunately. For Fisho, Cetra did good damage following Torox around. The Tomb Guard with Halberd front line held for as long as they were needed to. And Sepulchral Stalkers, 2 of them got shut down super quickly by Out There, but the one that didn't got 2,200 value back. Who won the tourney? Still waiting on finals, which should be done soon. They've been going for about... well, they met up 20 minutes ago, so who knows how long they've actually been in-game. I'm back on the prowl looking for people I haven't cast. We have not cast Lowry, and I don't see his name coming up a lot. I'm going to check. Oh, we have Out There versus Lowry, so which one would I rather cast? This one looks pretty interesting. Double Deathstreak Rock Launcher versus Empire. Or Dwarves versus Slanesh. Slanesh is just rushing him with Chosen, which is a viable strategy, but not as cool as Empire versus Chaos Dwarves. We'll do this one. catch a Lowry game. Ulf still here? Yeah, collision stuff is pretty new. We'll see how it goes. Johnny Cash versus Lowry, by the way. Jeopardy. Listing Cetra's many titles. Alrighty. For the Chaos Dwarves of Johnny Cash, we have Orc Laborer front line, Chaos Dwarf secondary, 2 Infernal Guard of Fireglaze behind all of them, double Deathstreak Rock Launcher, and a Sorcerer Prophet of Death with Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna, with some Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders in the Vanguard. Chaos Dwarves did get a lot of buffs to their roster. On the other side for the Empire, we have a lot of Daka. Templeoff Luminarch, ROR Luminarch of Hysh, double Hawkland Long Rifle, double Outrider with Grenade Launcher, then a front line of some Swordsmen, some Halberdiers, Eldred's Spears, and then a Balthasar Get with Final Transseer and Doom, some Knights of Black Rose. Now, with the Knights of Black Rose advancing far out of position, I don't think the Empire sees this coming. So far, the Deathstreak Rock Launchers are both sniped out the Luminarch of Hysh. That is gorgeous stuff. And these Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders are going to charge into the back of the Hawk Long Rifles. Knights of the Black Rose are not here to peel. The Hawk Long Rifles are trying to get to the other side of some Swordsmen to save themselves. They are still going to take a lot of damage. And the Templeoff Luminarch, I think, spent most of his time shooting Orc Laborers, which it is purely a single entity sniping tool. It only needed to be firing at the Sorcerer Prophet or the Deathstreakers if it could, but it did not get into range, and now it is being chased by those homing missiles into the forest, which the forest might save it. And the Hawk Long Rifles, so mistake with the Luminarch of Hysh, but the Hawk Long Rifles did the very best they could with the situation they were in to get to safety. So that was really nice stuff. But the Templeoff Luminarch is shattered, and Gelt is being run around right now. Infernal Guard of Fireglaves trying to hold off the Knights of the Black Rose just through the volume of fire they're offering. But these Outriders Grenade Launchers, oof, one's getting run down by the Hobgoblin Wolf Rider, so that's a bit unfortunate. But the other one's getting good damage onto the Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Deathcaster dives down on them instead, deciding that he can't keep chasing Gelt around. I wonder if he has a Fate of Buna ready for them, because that would be pretty poggin'. Empire in dire straits with their Hawk and Long Rifles. While he has been playing well to keep them alive, like, they just haven't had time to shoot because they're constantly running from shit. Lost an Outrider Grenade Launcher, lost the Templeoff Luminarch. His Knights of the Black Rose aren't feeling too good and haven't been able to impact the map yet, and now they're just going to be chased around by rocket launchers all game. And I think as soon as he has a Fate of Buna, this Outrider Grenade Launchers is toast. But for now, he's just following it around, being annoying. Chaos Dwarf frontline, not doing great versus the Imperial frontline. They did take some Hawk and Long Rifle shots, some Grenade Launcher shots here and there, and just in general, Orc Laborers are already kind of trash. I mean, they're only 300 gold, so it is what it is. It's not like they're going to win anything. The Hawk Long Rifles are secure, but the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders are ready for round 2, and there is less stuff to keep the Long Rifles safe this time. Can they move in time? They're trying to run to the trees, but the Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders are more than happy to follow you into those trees, my friends. More than happy to say goodbye to the Hawk and Long Rifles as the Wolves run them down. I haven't taken as much damage as I would have thought just yet. And Gelt's going to try and dive in and save the situation. Surprised we haven't seen a Fate of Buna onto these Outriders either. But the Empire is just going to FF. Lowry can see the writing on the wall. Mr. Cash takes a W. A George W. I do think that was a bit doomed. There was nothing left that could really threaten the Deathstreakers, since the 2 Infernal Guards were just puppy guarding, waiting for the Knights of Black Rose to do anything. It was pretty brutal. We are still waiting for our finals replay, yes. Do not worry, my friends. It will happen. So we've gotten our Lowry game. Let's keep scanning for anyone we haven't cast yet. Cast Terrier and Nardu. Cast out there in Trogdor. Cast these 2, though not that game. Delta's new. Haven't cast any Delta yet. Falling Star. Okay, that's exciting. I'm almost caught up. I think I just have to cast Delta, and then I've cast everybody at least once. I know a bunch of people sent me replays that I said thank you and I didn't save. but that's because it was from people that I knew I already cast their games, so I knew I wasn't going to be taking any more. So we have Hayseed again, but we are casting this one to catch Delta, and then we'll probably do finals and then call it a night, because it is 10 p.m. over here. It's 9:42, but you get my point. And I work at 5 in the morning, so as soon as finals is done, we're going to have to call it now that I've gotten to everybody. So 2 more games left in the stream. Unless finals isn't ready by the time we're done with this one, then I'll cast another one. For Hayseed, it's his beloved Kolek Suneater, a Slaanesh caster with Hysterical Frenzy and Pavane of Slaanesh, 3 Marauder Horsemen, some Dragon Ogres, his Halberds that he loves so much, and Marauders for a front line. On the other side, for the Vampire Counts, we have Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, who's already getting rampaged, Crypt Ghouls in the Vanguard trying to pull some sneaky stuff, Blood Knights, Skeleton Warriors and Zombies, more Black Knights, Corpse Card Unholy Lodestone, the Tithe, the Königstein Stalkers, and a White King. But the Rampage dragging the Blood Dragon Lord out of the sky right into Kolek. He needs to run away as quick as possible. The Rampage is worn off and he needs to get back into the sky. Post haste! Run, Blood Dragon Lord, run! He is not running. So far, he is just in there taking damage all day long. Pops a Helm of Discord as he starts to run away. He does get a bit of healing. If he can get back into the sky, he can heal himself. No harm, no foul. Meanwhile, the Black Knights with their lances and barding are charging straight through the front line, running down a lot of these Marauders quite easily, and Blood Knights are even going to get a rear charge on the sides. So the Vampire Count's trying to make some money moves elsewhere. Not anywhere near their Blood Dragon Lord, who is Invocation Heck, trying to heal himself back up for just a little bit. Marauders starting to rout Black Knights, stuck fighting Halberds, which they don't want to do. They'll need to back off and get a better charge somewhere else, as Kolek is currently beating up the Corpse Cart, but the White King getting his vengeance on the Sorcerer of Slaanesh, who's currently in a zombie summon. Zombies are some of the highest mass infantry in the entire game, mostly due to how many models they have. They can just surround you. And wow, the Blood Dragon Lord is fucking landing. That is the boldest thing I've seen in a while. Heart-piercing Sword of Anti-Heroes is out. He is going to face Kolek, but the health disparity is gigantic. Kolek does not have any healing, however, so if the Blood Dragon Lord can get some good hits in and run away, he'll be fine. But so far, he hasn't swung in quite a while. As Kolek is beating on him for free, this guy's just T-posing on Kolek. His buffs are wearing off, and he hasn't gotten any hits in. Just a desperately bad game for the Blood Dragon Lord, and I feel like he got Rampage, sure, and then he ran away a little slow, sure. But after that, he's been picking decent engagements, and, like, he just can't get anything to go his way because Blood Dragon Lord fucking stared at Kolek for an hour and a half. Marauder Horsemen and Marauders getting chased off. So is the Sorcerer of Slaanesh. The Blood Dragon Lord's going to go dive on a different fight, try and provide his terror to get these Marauders to rout in the face of his Skeleton Warriors and Zombies. Pretty good play there as Black Knights and Blood Knights are running around freely. Kolek is going to have to carry this game on his back for Hayseed. Bounce power is about 50-50. And the Crypt Ghouls that were in the Vanguard have joined the fight now, got onto some Marauder Horsemen. We still have a full health Dragon Ogre. Skeleton Warriors chasing down some Halberds. The Blood Dragon Lord still has all 3 of his breath attacks. No, just 2. 2 breath attacks, but still. Oh, this is a juicy breath attack target. Does he see it? Does he see it? He's coming in. Yes, right here. Yes! Oh, it's going to be so much damage! Oh, that's so much damage with a rear charge from the Black Knights. Ah, they kind of limp-dicked the rear charge a little bit. It was so close to being a beautiful rear charge on these Chaos Warriors of Khorne. Might rout them anyway, though, as the Marauders are out, and all of a sudden, Kolek doesn't have any support left in that central fight. The Halberds are barely holding on to leaderships. The Black Knights are going to want to back off. They don't want to be in this fight for too long. There we go. Now the Halberds are gone, so now they're fine. White King gets chased down the Marauder Horseman, but looks like he killed the Slaanesh casters. There's nothing to worry about here. We have Chaos Warriors of Khorne dual weapons, Chaos Warriors of Khorne with Halberds, Kolek, and Dragon Ogres. 1 skirmish cav. On the side of the Vampire Council, we have Black Knights, Blood Dragon Lord who's about heal capped, a full health Blood Knight, a full health White King, and a shit ton of random infantry. Can the Blood Dragon Lord get some good engagements? It looks like he's coming over here. He might want to rear charge his Marauder Horseman. Doesn't seem like he's going to commit to it. Instead, he's just going to let his Blood Knights come over here and say hello. But Kolek has broken free of the blob, and he's also following the Blood Knights around. Blood Knights get a decent charge on the Chaos Warriors of Khorne, but now they're going to get mucked up and rear charged by Kolek. That hammer comes slamming down and does actually pretty big damage to the Blood Knights. They don't want to be here. They don't want to be here at all as they lose 1/3 of their HP to Kolek and the Chaos Warriors of Khorne. It's only getting worse. What can the Blood Dragon Lord do? As he should probably just get his fucking Blood Knights out of here because this is a disaster. Another beautiful breath attack, though, down from him. Takes the Halberds to half HP as well. The Blood Dragon Lord is just going to fuck off. Leaves his Blood Knights to their demise, which I have to say I disagree with that. He is going to dive onto the Dragon Ogres. That's a good fight for him to be taking, sure, but I don't know why the Blood Knights have to be in this fight for him to do so. His Blood Dragon Lord's picking good fights. His Blood Knights are not, and they are just going to die in this mosh pit. Unfortunately, I think for nothing. Dragon Ogres get sniped out too, so that is a great play here from the Vampire Counts. Not all things are going badly for them. Blood Knights are gone. Blood Knights are one of the big things that could deal with Kolek. In addition to the Blood Dragon Lord, I just worry, even if he heals up to his heal cap, I worry the Blood Dragon Lord is too low to take on Kolek. We'll see. If he gets a charge and if he has all of his buffs, he can do some serious damage for sure. But he just put those things on cooldown, so I don't know how long it'll be till he will have them back. Game is dead even, and I definitely agree. As we have some halberds and some warriors with dual weapons who aren't feeling too hot. We have a Marauder Horseman that's almost out of ammo, and a healthy Kolek. On the other side for the Vampire Counts, a bunch of random infantry. Full health White King, half health Blood Dragon Lord, and then a pretty close to dead Black Knight that's currently trying to run away from Kolek and not doing a good job of it. Blood Dragon Lord throws down the Helm of Discord, but he hasn't charged into Kolek just yet. Now his Black Knights are trying to help out a little bit. Oh, they're rear charging the... Oh, they're all going after the Chaos Warriors of Khorne. I see. I think he's trying to terror nuke them. Because the Frenzy is gone, so their ITP is gone. Yeah, he's going to get them to terror out and hope his Black Knights can chase them down. He needs to turn into a natural route. But this is so risky. Kolek gets a big shot onto the back of the Blood Dragon Lord. Even with the Helm of Discord, he got the charge on him. And the Blood Dragon Lord, he is on a dragon. His melee defense is pathetically low. And Kolek is stomping the shit out of him. I don't know if it was worth it just to dive onto these guys. Kolek even pops his buffs. The Blood Dragon Lord has to opt out of this fight, and it looks like he is. Now he could have a significant advantage. Oh, fuck, but Kolek's after him. If he gets back into the sky, he can wait for Kolek's cooldowns to be down, and when his cooldowns are back up, he can get a beautiful charge attack in, and look at Kolek's leadership. It's actually falling, so he could get a rear charge on him and do some serious damage as long as he waits for Kolek's buffs to wear off. The Marauder Horsemen are back, however, the Blood Dragon Lord is going after him. He only has 1900 HP, and Kolek is currently kicking the shit out of a White King while this is happening. The Vampire Counts have a ton of infantry coming back to feed into these halberds, slowly but surely. Nice dive in onto the Marauder Horsemen. I like that a lot. The Blood Dragon Lord is doing what he can. The Vampire Counts need to slow this down. Time is on their side. Now, if he wants to do the play I just talked about, where he dives onto Kolek, he needs to do it pretty soon. Otherwise, Kolek will get his cooldowns back. But I don't hate the long play either. You have a magic caster, the enemy doesn't. You can use some invocations of Nehek on your Blood Dragon Lord, get him back to as full of HP as possible, and then whittle down these Chaos Warriors of Khorne, who are slowly taking damage. I don't hate it at all. I do personally hate this White King engaging without the Blood Dragon Lord. They need to 2v1 Kolek. A series of 1v1s is not going to beat him. Kolek will beat both of them. Nice invocation to heck on the White King. And it looks like the Blood Dragon Lord is coming in, so they will be doing the 2v1 after all. Hayseed is counting on Kolek to carry this game as his Chaos Warriors of Khorne just about out of leadership. In comes the Blood Dragon Lord. Helm of Discord is down. Sword of Anti-Heroes and Heart Piercing is out. This is your only moment to kill Kolek. And he's doing good work, but the Dragon Ogres are coming back in, and Kolek refuses to miss, despite all the stats of the Blood Dragon Lord. Kolek just don't miss, but neither does the Blood Dragon Lord. The Blood Dragon Lord has insane weapon strength with all of his buffs up. Kolek is routing. The Blood Dragon Lord is starting to crumble. He's already heal capped. He can't do anything about it, but the Dragon Ogres are terror routing. Everything's routing, and balance power shifts too far away from the Warriors of Chaos. All of them are blinking. They have leadership of 8 is all that's keeping some of these skirmish cav in the game, but they're throwing up the Blood Dragon Lord, and Kolek has shattered, running away from the White King. The White King's just trying to kill him to get that final leadership shock of Lord is dead, would end this game, but Kolek just won't die to the White King. There he finally goes. Lord is dead, ends the game, taking the Warriors of Chaos out. Delta gets himself a win. All right, for Hayseed, Kolek with 5,800 value. His Chaos Warriors of Khorne, dual weapons and halberds both did very well. Marauders just got picked off by the Vampire Counts. Skirmish Cav did well. His Dragon Ogres did okay. For Delta, Blood Dragon Lord had a rough start with that Rampage, but started playing very well with him later. The White King got insane value considering it's just a little hero horse character. And then we have Skeleton Warriors who did okay. Koenigstein Stalkers did very well. Black Knights did fine. And the Blood Knights were doing well, and then they just picked one bad engagement and died. All right. It looks like we have finals is in. Both players sent it to me, so I actually have no idea who won. I just saved one of them. So finals are in. I am sorry I will not be able to cast more of these games, my friends. I did try and hit everybody at least once. So I hope that if you wanted one of your games cast, you at least got to see one. Some people got more if they happened to be matched against people I was looking for otherwise. As we parse through some of these. But yes, we do have a final replay to get to. Holy shit. That's fucking Karnak. I'm just scrolling through some of these builds right now. We do have our final game. Hang on. Just let me delete these. So many games from so many awesome fucking new players. Look at them all go. Thought I deleted that one. Thought I deleted this one. All right. Finals. And again, both players sent this to me. I actually have no idea who won. But let's find out. Both of these players, Fisho and Torisen, had a 4-0 run through the Swiss bracket. They did a tiebreaker to see who is the winner of this new player tournament. We'll find out now. Fisho, I remember from this tournament, we saw him Tomb Kings versus Out There's Beastmen. He had that beautiful play where he peeled away Torox and then shot him before running Cetra in behind him. That was gorgeous stuff. For Torisen, I don't remember what he's played this tournament, but he has been playing quite a lot on my ladder. I've played against him a few times. He did actually beat me in a best of 3. He beat me 2-0 once. I have since gotten my vengeance on him, but he did beat me at one point, so clearly no slouch. All right, for Fisho, in his Vampire Coast, we have Deckhands mobs, Animated Hulks, a bunch of handgun mobs and pistol mobs in the back line. I think the only handgun mob is the Black Spot, and then we have Rotting Prometheans, including the Lampe's Revenge ROR and some Fellbats. So a very wide Vampire Coast push. On the other side, for the High Elves, we have triple Shadow Warrior Kite, a Lethanar with his clone already out there, Dragon Princes, then the Fireborn, so 2 Dragon Princes, 2 War Lions of Krace, a bunch of Spears after that, and a Firecaster with only Burning Head. A Lethanar firing away into the Rotting Prometheans mobs. Bullets OP. Bullets are OP. I want March of the Ends. Sorry, there's too many replays and not enough time. I'm sorry, we didn't get to cast every single amazing game, but we did our best. The Shadow Warriors are cutting back, just pouring damage into the Deckhands mobs for now, because that's all they can really reach. And I am worried about their DPS versus the Rotting Prometheans gunnery mobs, but I do think the Shadow Warriors should be spending their ammo either on Animated Hulks or on the enemy gunners. Because the Deckhands mobs will die to your spears. Faux show. Rotting Prometheans getting left behind, I would assume intentionally to avoid getting shot by Lethanar and the Shadow Warriors until the late game, especially since this other Rotting Prometheans is now retreating. So yeah, I do think that's intentional. Whether that's the correct decision, I don't know if they should be that far back, but I do think it is an intentional decision, correct or not. Burning Head through the Deckhands mobs front line, just trying to whittle them down a bit more as the Shadow Warriors are now taking their time to shoot at the gunnery mobs. That one got hit with a Burning Head and is getting shot by the Shadow Warriors, so it's getting a little brutal for them. The Fireborn looking for a fight, and with their new armor piercing that was just given to them in this patch, if they can catch, in the late game without zombie support, if they can catch the crab mobs, oh, there's just some dead crab mobs, especially Lamper's Revenge, who are naturally weak to fire. That could be brutal. Lethanar firing sideways into the crabs wherever he can get a shot in. Bonks some of them. The Shadow Warriors are safe and sound for now. Animated Hulks and Fellbats do get through to the back line, but the War Lions of Krace are here to defend, charging straight into those bats and chomping on them, getting some good food in tonight. Other War Lions are here as well, and here come the Fireborn charging down. And I have to say, I am worried for the Vampire Coast. Now, the positive spin for the Vampire Coast is the Shadow Warriors are almost out of ammo, and they've done jack shit with it. They've shot a bunch of frontline stuff and some pistol mobs, but they haven't killed anything of value. And now here come the crabs. But the positive spin for the High Elves is the Fireborn are full health, bitch. So what you gonna do about that? And all of your backline threat is dead. The Shadow Warriors are free and clear to fight again as Spearmen get to fight animated hulks completely alone. The Vampire Coast frontline is in disarray, so I'm sure another Burning Head will be coming for them soon. There it is, because I'm a genius and I'm a legend and I'm the best caster of all time. You can't say that about yourself. That's conceited. You're conceited. Get wrecked. Get fucking wrecked as the Burning Head does betray the Spearmen briefly before it slams into the deckhand mobs that were trying to get past the front line, and War Lions also hit them pretty darn hard. You have a zombie summon that's harassing the backline. The Shadow Warriors are very disciplined, though. They are trying not to waste any ammunition on that summon. It's not worth their time. They're still trying to hit the black spot. Balance power is 50-50 between these rather evenly matched players. And the Fireborn, wherever they are, have not been able to play. I don't know what's keeping them at bay, but they are at literally zero value, as they don't want to take the fight with these Lamprey's Revenge, I guess. That seems weird, but I wonder if he's too close to Noctilus. Maybe he's worried about a summon helping out. Maybe he's worried about the black spot. I don't know what he's worried about, but personally, I think the Fireborn should have been engaged before now, because he's getting zoned by the exact thing he wants to fight. So I don't understand what took them so long, but here they go. Armor-piercing, anti-large, versus a fire-weak armored large unit, and Alethanar even throws a moonbow behind it just for shits and giggles. But the Fireborn are not trashing the Lamprey's Revenge? What is this? I guess he was right to keep them back, because the Lamprey's Revenge are just monster moding through the Fireborn. What the fuck is this? There's a summon from Noctilus, and they do have to back off in a shocking turn. I don't know how the Lamprey's Revenge held that long and did that much damage. Shadow Warriors running low on ammunition. They've done good work up until now, but how much does it matter as these rotting Promethean gunnery mobs, even non-Lamprey's Revenge with no self-healing, gonna heal cap as a Burning Head goes through the animated hulks and the deckhands, mobs, and polearms. Vampire Coast is falling behind. The Fireborn retreat. There's no healing for them on this roster. There's no life caster. It is a Burning Head caster instead, so they are stuck at half HP. The Lamprey's Revenge, however, can heal up. War Lions stuck fighting two different halberds. The black spot, as we mentioned before, are a halberd type unit, so these War Lions are going to take a lot of damage, so they're sacrificing themselves to take out that armor-piercing infantry once and for all. Another Invocation of Nehek, Overcast, trying to save the Rotting Promethean's gunnery mob. Trying. Alethanar has so much ammunition left, 25 ammo going into the late game. He could do some impressive work with his armor-piercing versus the crabs. He'll be just fine. Both Dragon Princes playing very safe. Maybe too safe, I would still debate. Even if the Lamprey's Revenge somehow just traded even with the Fireborn, which I thought was impossible, I still think the Dragon Princes need to be doing other stuff. Like, if you're that scared of the crabs, then fuck it and just get over here and peel these guys, or charge into the deckhands bombs, or do something. Like, having all this money just sit in the backline isn't gonna be great. But they're looking to come over now, so that's fine. Noctilus is checking out another summon on top of these Spearmen. We'll see what the Dragon Princes can achieve. Alethanar is free and clear shooting, and I would rather be the High Elves right now. Their last Shadow Warrior that has any ammo is about to run out. He has 2 volleys left, more like 1.5. But Alethanar has tons of ammo left. You have cavalry advantage. You have infantry advantage because this summon isn't real, so it'll fade away, and then you'll be fine. That's what I was expecting! Why didn't that happen the first time? Look at that! Look at how much fucking damage they're doing! Why didn't that happen the first time? Okay. That's what I expected to happen, and I feel like I understand this game again, because I don't know how the Fireborn did so poorly on the first one, but that time was what I was expecting. They took the Lamprey's Revenge had more, they had like most of their HP, and the Fireborn were half dead. Now the Fireborn are at 1/4 HP, and the Lamprey's Revenge are less than that. That is much more what I was expecting, as these other Rotting Prometheans are getting ground down by Shadow Warriors slowly but surely. Now, the High Elves aren't getting off scot-free here. The Shadow Warriors are all pretty low, especially for not having any ammo left. Their Spearmen are also pretty low. The regular Dragon Princes are pretty low. And the Fireborn are 1/4 HP. While the Fireborn are scary units, there's no healing for them here. Noctilus and Lamprey's Revenge could offer quite a lot more healing. But that zombie is a summon. It is fake, and a Burning Head's about to make it even more fake than it just was, because it's going to take a lot of damage in the meantime. Polearms also taking a lot of damage, leaving us in a bit of a problem. Noctilus, do you have more Invocations in the Heck for this gunnery mob to keep it in the fight? Do you have more summons? What do you have? 3 regular summons left, none of his Moondial. He does have Invocations in the Heck left to offer. Can the crabs clutch it out? They're trying. First time the crabs is braced. That is probably true, Diamond. Did not see the crabs, holy cow. Hey, Dallas Williams. This used to be a fair fight in Warhammer 2. Ever since then, it's been high elf favored, in my opinion. Invocation to heck out. Onto Lamper's Revenge. Not onto his other crabs that have just died. The Fireborn and other Dragon Princes are still rather healthy and scary. Alethanar has half his ammunition left and is still firing into these guys. His Lamper's Revenge are just trying to tank it out. Now, to their credit, they're getting good damage down, and more high elf infantry and Lions of Krace are getting pushed away. Noctilus still has summons. He's still full HP. We still have a game. Fireborn charge into Lamper's Revenge. Not charge brace this time, as chat pointed out, and there they get destroyed. The Fireborn instantly kill them, leaving Noctilus without any support because I imagine his pole arms mobs will also be leaving him soon. Noctilus alone and without much crowd clearing with Alethanar slowly shooting at him. I think this is probably GG. There's not a lot left, but Alethanar could just kite him into the Shadow Realm if everybody else he has dies. He'll be fine. He is trying to separate out and let Alethanar get some shots in. I think that's GG. I do think the High Elves and Toris will be taking today's tournament. As Noctilus just stands his ground and watches his death come to him, and he surrenders. Which I do think was respectable. I don't know how Fisho was going to win from that position. Because Alethanar is also a pretty solid melee combatant, especially versus Noctilus, who relies heavily on armor piercing and bonus versus large, which Alethanar is neither armored nor large. So I think after using all of his ammo, Alethanar could have soloed Noctilus, and then you still have the Fireborn, the other Dragon Princes, your Mage, Spearman. So it was just way too much for Fisho to deal with. Torison, congratulations on your new player tournament win. It was well earned. You have been grinding it out in our Vermin League. Don't leave just yet. Don't leave just yet. I know you're itching to go, but we do have a couple little things to throw in here at the end before I have to head on off to bed for that very exciting last game. Nice job with the Shadow Warrior and Alethanar Kite versus the Vampire Coast. Not what we're expecting at all. Fisho, hey man, you know where to find us. And that's what I was going to mention to you if you haven't left. If you did leave, then hey, I asked you not to, so maybe think about that. So Torison with the win. So why are you hanging around? Congrats, Torison, for the win. Alethanar Shadow Gang. Boop. Add roll. Bone Ripper. Boop. Bone Ripper just makes him not a new player anymore. You can go to my server. You can get this Give Rat Ogre roll. We give you the roll. It makes your name nice and pink. That allows you to participate in all of our new player tournaments. We host one new player tournament every single week. If you aren't playing in our new player tournaments, or if you're not a new player, we also have Tequila Sunset. We also have Tactical Lich. We also have Big JP, Big JP is also hosting new player tournaments, even if you are a new player. But we have tournaments for everybody. We have some fun tournaments. Lucinia's hosting some fun tournaments. Suri Han is is doing some try-hard tournaments. There are events out there for you, not just my events. There's also good other content creators like Tactical Lich, like Tequila Sunset, right? So there's other content. There's other tournaments. There's other things. If you do get our Rat Ogre roll, though, you get access to our new player chats. You get access to our best of one bot that has not been getting as much love as it deserves recently. Some people get games here and there, but I would like to see more of it. You also get access to replay for coaches, which means you can submit your replays in here and then people weigh in on them with opinions on what you could have done better, even if it's a quick battle, even if it's not a tournament game, right? If you are not a new player or you're just feeling like it, you can go to our Find Matches. This is much more active. These are best of 3, try-hard, sweaty tournament games. Most people are going to be playing to win in here. But hey, if you feel like it, hop on in there. It's good. It's good stuff. That fills up our leaderboard. Our leaderboard rates people based on how many games they've played and how many they've won. It's good stuff. And we do have season playoffs when every season ends, this season was put on delay because we have the Warpstone Cup going on right now, which is taking up a lot of our time. But also, if you're a casual player, new player or not, you can also go to our Looking for Games chat. Where the fuck is it? There it is. Looking for Games. You could ping anybody with LFG, Looking for Game. And anybody who has that role voluntarily will get that ping and maybe hit you up for some more casual games. So we have casual games. We have new player games. We have non-new player games. We have new player tournaments. We have casual tournaments. We have sweaty tryhard tournaments. We have everything you need. If you aren't in this Discord, if you aren't playing Total War Warhammer multiplayer, what the fuck are you doing, man? What are you doing? We have everything here for you. Everything is right here. You can get all the best games. Why would you fucking play quick battles? Look at me. Look me in the eyes. Why would you play fucking quick battles? Oh, I'm going to corner camp you like a little bitch. I'm going to take 2 land ships, 2 steam tanks, 2 Elspeths von Drakens, both on their dragon. I'm going to take triple Spirit Leech. I'm going to Spirit Leech the fuck out of you. You don't get to play the game. That's quick battles. That's garbage. That's shit. Let's play Festus the fucking Leech Lord with 6 aspiring claws, all of them just heel capping in a blob in the corner in a forest, jacking off without any pants on. That's quick battles. Why would you do that? Come to my server, play real games with real people who handshake and go, hey, I'm not going to be a dick about this. And you're going to go, me neither. You're going to have some fun games. Why don't you do that? Why don't you do that? Why are you not in here? Now I'm mad at you and disappointed. Because look at this. Look at this. Go up to the landing zone. Alexander the Grape joined during the stream. It's 10:09. I started this rant at 10:05 at the latest. No one's fucking joined. No one wants to join and take advantage of all the resources, all the things we have here for you to make this game fun, to make this game good. You don't want to have fun. You don't want a good game. You just want to play quick battles. You just want to play quick battles, and it's for that reason I'm disappointed in you. I just don't know what to say. I just don't know how to convince you to come play the fun version of the game. All right, that's it. We outie. Thanks for hanging around, everybody. I like what was just described. Good, get in our server. Oh, you meant the quick battles? Then good, enjoy quick battles. No, memes aside, if you're enjoying quick battles, you're having a good time, keep having a good time. But we do have the server there if you want to play some games with us. Sounds good? Sounds good. Goodbye, everybody.